Hey guys, tonight we take a journey through a place that many believe is haunted by the souls of those who once walked its cold halls. Picture a large, crumbling building sitting atop a hill, surrounded by overgrown trees and the quiet hum of the wind. The air is thick with the lingering scent of decay, the very walls whispering stories of those who passed through and never left. This is Waverly Hills Sanatorium, and its story is one of both darkness and mystery, a place where life and death dance together in an eternal waltz. The sound of your footsteps echoes softly in the cold, damp corridors. The walls, once filled with the laughter of children and the cries of the ill, now stand silent and empty. The faintest draft sends shivers down your spine as you walk, and the long shadows cast by your flashlight seem to stretch endlessly into the darkness. Your breath comes out in small clouds, misting in the air before quickly dissipating. You can't shake the feeling that someone is watching you, but when you turn, there's no one there. Yet the presence lingers. So before you get comfortable, take a moment to like the video and subscribe, but only if you genuinely enjoy what I do here. Now dim the lights, maybe turn on a fan for that soft background hum, and let's ease into tonight's journey together. It's said that Waverly Hills was built during a time when tuberculosis, or TB, was a deadly epidemic, taking countless lives. In the early 1900s, the world was gripped by fear, and many cities had no choice but to build these towering structures to house the ill. Waverly Hills was one of the largest sanatoriums of its kind, designed to care for those suffering from this disease that left people weak, pale, and gasping for breath. The building, with its long hallways and rows of small rooms, was meant to be a place of recovery, a place where people could breathe again. But instead, it became a place where death would visit time, and time again. From the outside, Waverly Hills stood like a monument to hope. Its grand structure overlooked the small town below, sitting at the edge of a forest surrounded by a thick mist that often rolled in, adding to the isolation of the place. But as you ventured closer, as the ground beneath your feet shifted and the chill in the air grew colder, you couldn't shake the feeling that something was terribly wrong. The hospital operated from 1926 to 1961, during which time it became infamous for its high death rate. The sanatorium had been designed with the idea of fresh air and rest being key to recovery. But as patients continued to die, often by the dozens, it became apparent that the disease was far more powerful than anyone had anticipated. Those who were admitted rarely left alive. The rooms were sterile with narrow windows that provided little more than a glimpse of the outside world. The patients who lived here were isolated, often too weak to even leave their beds. Nurses and doctors came and went, their faces a blur to the patients who were too sick to care. But then there were the other rooms, the ones that many would later say were haunted rooms, where patients still alive claimed to have seen strange figures standing at their bedside. Some said it was the ghost of a former patient. Others claimed it was something far darker, an entity that had taken hold of the sanatorium. On your journey through the building, you can almost hear the whispers of those who died here, their voices faint but unmistakable. The halls seem to stretch before you endlessly, and the very air around you feels heavy, thick with the memories of the past. The staircases creak as you step on each worn step. You pause, listening as the soft thud of your footfalls is joined by a distant echo. At first it seems harmless, like the sound of a door shutting somewhere down the hall, but there's no door, no one else in the building. The only sounds are those of your breath and the occasional scraping noise against the floor, something that sounds almost like the movement of something dragging along the ground. The wind outside picks up its howling, causing the walls to tremble slightly, as though the building itself is breathing. Your footsteps falter for a moment, and a cold shiver runs down your spine. It feels as though the building is alive, responding to your presence. You press on, trying to shake the unease that's slowly creeping up on you. As you move through the building, you come to a room that seems different from the others. The air inside feels colder, almost unnaturally so. It's as if the temperature in the room has dropped several degrees, and the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. The shadows here are longer, darker, almost as though they're watching you waiting. The room is bare, save for a small bed, a nightstand, and a single chair. But it's the walls that catch your attention. There are scratches, faint but unmistakable, as though someone or something had been trying to escape. The marks are irregular, some deep, others shallow, as though they were made by a frantic hand. You approach the walls, running your fingers over the scratches, and for a moment, you almost feel a presence behind you. You turn quickly, but there's nothing there. Still, the feeling remains, the weight of the room pressing in on you, urging you to leave, but you can't help it. Your feet move toward the bed, and as you approach, you notice something strange. The sheets are disturbed as though someone had recently been lying there. But the room is empty. The bed is untouched, save for the deep indentations in the covers where someone or something had been. Something. You stand there for a moment, unsure of what to do. The air feels suffocating, and the oppressive silence seems to grow louder with each passing second. And just as you think you can't take it anymore, a faint sound reaches your ears. It's soft, almost imperceptible, but it's there, a low, mournful sound like the wind itself is crying. It seems to come from the walls, from the very ground beneath your feet. It's a sound you've heard before in your dreams and your nightmares, a voice calling out for help, for release, for peace. You turn ready to leave, but something makes you pause. There in the corner of the room you see it. A shadow, dark and motionless, standing against the wall. It's not human, not in the way you know humans to be. It's like a figure made of smoke. Its edges blurred its form, shifting as though it can't decide what it wants to be. The shadow doesn't move, but you feel its gaze. It's staring at you, watching you, waiting for you to make the first move, and then, just as quickly as it appeared, it vanishes, leaving behind only the cold, empty room. You take a step back, your heart racing, and you don't look back as you leave the room, your footsteps echoing loudly in the silence. As you exit the sanatorium, the mist outside seems to grow thicker, almost suffocating. The building looms behind you, dark and silent, as though it's waiting for you to return. And as you step into the cool night air, the whispers follow you, lingering in your ears, like a distant memory that refuses to fade. The night feels heavier now. The wind outside has picked up its gusts, rattling the trees and causing the branches to scrape against the windows of Waverly Hills, their eerie movements casting shadows against the walls. The shadows seem to grow, stretching longer as the moon climbs higher in the sky, illuminating the crumbling building with a cold, pale light. But inside, there is only the dim flicker of a flashlight, casting more uncertainty than clarity, revealing the grotesque decay that has taken over the sanatorium since its abandonment. Your mind drifts back to the shadows you saw earlier, the one that seemed to be watching you. You can't shake the feeling that something is waiting just out of sight, that someone is following you. You try to reason with yourself, but deep down, you know the truth. The building has seen too much, endured too much, and it doesn't welcome anyone. Not anymore. The floors creak beneath your weight, the groans of the wood sounding like whispers, like warnings. You take another step down the corridor, the light of your flashlight flickering briefly, as though it's uncertain whether it should guide you any further. You pause, the silence around you thick and suffocating, broken only by the faint hum of the wind outside. There's something here. You feel it in the air, in the very atmosphere. You can't explain it, but the oppressive weight of this place presses against your chest, urging you to leave. But some morbid curiosity keeps you moving forward. You can't stop now, not when you've come this far. Turning a corner, you find yourself in front of a door that seems more worn than the others. It's partially ajar, just enough to reveal a small, dimly lit room. The air smells faintly of mildew mixed with the subtle scent of something almost metallic like rust. The room itself is empty, save for a few abandoned chairs and a table overturned in the center, the remnants of forgotten lives strewn about. Your eyes are drawn to something that shouldn't be there. In the corner of the room near the back wall is a chair that stands perfectly still, placed at an odd angle as if it were waiting for someone to sit in it. The seat is covered in dust, the once soft fabric now tattered and worn. The chair's positioning is unsettling, as though it had been deliberately placed, waiting for its next occupant. A chill runs down your spine, but you step forward anyway, compelled to know more. As you approach, you hear a faint noise. Footsteps. Soft, but deliberate. You freeze your heart, skipping a beat. The sound is unmistakable, and it's coming from behind you. A quick glance over your shoulder reveals nothing but the dark, empty hallway stretching out into the void. The room behind you remains unchanged, yet you feel the unmistakable sensation of being watched. A low, almost imperceptible groan echoes from the floorboards above, followed by a faint scraping sound. The air grows colder. You shiver involuntarily, your breath fogging in front of you. It's as if the temperature drops several degrees at once, and your body reacts with an instinctive sense of dread. Something is not right. You try to calm your racing heart, telling yourself that it's just the wind, just the creaks of an old building settling. But deep down, you know it's more than that. The sound of the footsteps grows louder, closer, and then just as you prepare to turn and leave, you hear a voice. It's soft, a whisper, but it feels like it's coming from the very walls of the room, curling around you, wrapping you in its cold embrace. Help me! The words are barely audible, but they are unmistakable. They send a jolt of fear through you, making your blood run cold. Your mind races as you search the room, your flashlight trembling in your grip, scanning for the source of the voice. But there's nothing. Nothing but the empty chairs, the overturned table, and the thick, suffocating silence. The voice, however, lingers. It doesn't fade, but instead seems to draw closer, its faint echo resonating within the room. Help me, please. You turn quickly, instinctively, but once again, you find yourself staring into nothingness. Your pulse quickens the air around you, growing heavier, thicker, with the weight of something unseen. It feels as though the room is closing in on you, the walls shifting, tightening with each breath you take. A sudden sharp sound, a door slamming, snaps you from your trance, making you jump. Your flashlight flickers once more, casting fleeting shadows across the room. For a moment, you think you see something, a shadow, moving just beyond the beam of light. But when you blink, it's gone. You've had enough. You can't stay here any longer. Your instincts scream at you to run, to get out before it's too late. You turn toward the door, only to feel a sudden force tugging at your arm. Your heart skips a beat as you whirl around, expecting to find someone there. But again, there's nothing. And then, as if by some cruel twist of fate, you hear the unmistakable sound of a child's laughter, a soft, giggling laugh coming from behind the closed door. The sound is innocent, sweet even, but it carries with it an unsettling quality, as though it doesn't belong here. "Leave me alone," you mutter under your breath, though you know no one is listening. With a final glance over your shoulder, you rush out of the room, your footsteps echoing in the stillness as you hurry down the hallway. The laughter follows you, faint but persistent, lingering just behind you, growing louder the farther you run. It's as though it's chasing you, urging you to stay, urging you to come back. But you won't. You can't. Finally, after what seems like an eternity, you burst through the exit doors, your heart racing and your breath shallow. The cool night air rushes to meet you, but it offers little comfort. You stand there trembling, staring up at the towering sanatorium behind you, its dark windows now staring back empty, lifeless. But the laughter doesn't stop. It follows you into the night, and you realize with a sinking feeling in your chest that Waverly Hills isn't done with you yet. The cold air bites at your skin, but it does little to numb the chill that settled deep inside you. Every breath feels too heavy, as if the weight of the night is pressing down on your chest. You stand outside Waverly Hills, the building looming in the distance, dark and ominous against the moonlit sky. The laughter still echoes faintly in your mind, but you try to shake it off. The feeling of being watched, however, doesn't leave. It lingers in the air, thick and suffocating, like a presence that refuses to let you go. You glance back over your shoulder, and for a brief moment, you wonder if the shadows in the windows are moving. A flicker, a shift, something that could have been a reflection, or something far worse. You squint, your heart pounding in your chest, but the windows are empty. The sanatorium stands silent as it has for decades, abandoned by the living, but still very much alive with the memories of those who once called it home. Despite the unease gnawing at you, you can't help but feel compelled to go back inside. The curiosity, the need to know, is too strong, but your legs refuse to carry you any closer to the building. You stand frozen, the distant hum of the wind, the only sound in the night. Suddenly, the silence is broken by a soft sound, the unmistakable creak of a door opening. It's faint, almost imperceptible, but it's there. Your pulse quickens, and your body tenses in response. You hold your breath, straining to listen, but the noise stops as quickly as it started. You wait a moment, hoping for another sound, another clue. But the night remains still. And then, in the distance, you hear it. A faint rustling, like footsteps dragging through the dry leaves scattered on the ground. Your heart jumps in your chest. You know the sound. It's the same one you heard inside the building, the one that followed you down the halls, the one that seemed to creep just behind you. You spin around, half expecting to see something standing there, but there's nothing. The rustling continues, drawing nearer. You take a tentative step forward, your eyes scanning the darkness. The hairs on the back of your neck stand on end as the sound grows louder, closer. It's like something is moving toward you, yet you can't see a thing. A sense of dread settles over you, and you feel a cold sweat break out on your skin. "Who's there?" You call out, your voice trembling despite yourself. The words hang in the air unanswered. The rustling stops abruptly. The silence that follows is deafening, thick with tension. You feel the weight of the moment, the heavy pressure that fills the space between you and whatever lurks in the shadows. Your flashlight shakes in your hand, its beam cutting through the dark, but it offers little comfort. Your surroundings are still, and then you hear it, a soft, almost imperceptible voice coming from behind you. "Help me." The voice is faint, like a whisper on the wind, but you know it's real. The words seem to float around you, twisting and curling in the air, barely audible, yet undeniable. You turn, your heart racing, but once again, there's nothing. The night is empty, but the voice doesn't stop. Help me. It's closer now, more urgent. A part of you wants to run to escape whatever is calling you, but another part, a darker part, compels you to move closer. The whisper tugs at something deep inside, a longing, a need that you can't explain. It draws you forward toward the entrance of Waverly Hills, toward the dark doorway that beckons like a mouth, ready to swallow you whole. Before you can stop yourself, your feet carry you back to the building. The rustling sound is gone now, but the whispering voice remains. You push open the door, its hinges groaning in protest as you step inside once again. The cold, musty air hits you like a wall, and the silence wraps around you like a shroud. Your flashlight flickers, casting long shadows on the walls as you make your way through the entrance hall. The temperature inside feels colder than before, almost frigid. It's as though the building has been waiting for you, its very walls holding their breath. You can't see anything beyond the narrow beam of your flashlight, but the sense of being watched is overpowering. It's suffocating, like invisible eyes are tracing your every movement. The voice comes again, but this time it's louder, more insistent. Help me. You follow the sound, unable to resist its pull. It leads you through the dark corridors, past rooms that feel empty, abandoned, lifeless. The walls seem to close in on you, their peeling paint and crumbling surfaces whispering forgotten stories. Your steps echo in the silence, each one louder than the last, the tension building with every footfall. You turn a corner and find yourself in a long, narrow hallway. The air feels thicker here, heavier, as though the very atmosphere has been soaked with the past. Your flashlight illuminates the walls, and for a moment, you think you see something, know someone, standing at the far end of the hall, just out of reach of the light. A figure cloaked in shadow watching you. The breath catches in your throat as you squint, trying to make out the figure. But when you blink, it's gone. You take a hesitant step forward, and then another, your heart thudding in your chest. The voice has stopped, but the silence is even worse. It presses in on you, filling every inch of the hall. You can feel the weight of the building's history on your shoulders, its memories of pain, suffering, and death flooding back as you move deeper into the heart of the sanatorium. You know you shouldn't be here. You know that whatever is waiting for you in this place is not meant to be disturbed, but you can't turn back now. The lure of the unknown is too strong. The darkness inside Waverly Hills is alive, and it's calling you, pulling you deeper into its depths, where the echoes of the past still haunt the air. And as you take another step forward, you hear it again, that voice. Louder now, clearer. Help me! You know now that there's no turning back. You've crossed the threshold, and whatever is waiting for you is ready to make itself known. The moment the words hit your ears, the ground beneath you feels like it shifts, though the floor remains solid, unyielding beneath your feet. Your heartbeat is the loudest sound in your ears, and you can feel the rush of adrenaline flooding your veins as the darkness closes in around you. The voice, the one that had whispered so faint and distant now, rings in your mind like a clarion call. Help me! It comes again, but this time, there's an unmistakable sense of urgency in the tone. It's no longer just a cry. It's a plea, a desperate call for someone, anyone to listen. The hair on the back of your neck rises, and your instincts scream for you to turn and run to flee this place before it can swallow you whole. But something keeps you rooted to the spot, an invisible force that pulls you deeper into the sanatorium. The light from your flashlight flickers again, and the beam shakes in your hand, casting erratic shadows against the peeling walls. You press on your feet, carrying you through the dark hall, drawn toward the source of the voice. It seems to echo from all around you, reverberating through the very walls of the building, bending and twisting like an entity of its own. The temperature drops even further, the air growing thick and suffocating. You wrap your arms around yourself in an attempt to stave off the cold, but the chill sinks into your bones. It's as if the very air has turned against you, turning the darkness into something more tangible, more alive. You feel its presence, a weight pressing on your chest, squeezing the air from your lungs with each step. The shadows seem to stretch, elongating and shifting with each movement of your flashlight, as though they're alive, waiting, watching. And then without warning, the voice stops. The silence that follows is oppressive, suffocating. Your heart races, your breath shallow, and you freeze in place. You could swear you heard something behind you, something that wasn't there just a moment ago. A shift in the air, the softest of sounds, a breath, a rustle, or perhaps the slightest creak of the floorboards. You turn quickly, your flashlight swinging wildly through the dark. But there's nothing but the unyielding darkness that stretches endlessly around you. You try to steady your breath to calm the panic that's rising within you, but the silence feels like a heavy weight on your chest. The darkness seems to have swallowed the world whole, and for a moment, you wonder if you've stepped into something that cannot be undone. "Help me," the voice comes again. This time, it's not a whisper. It's louder, more clear, as though the person, or whatever it is, stands right behind you. You feel a cold presence brush against your skin, and every hair on your body stands on end. You whip around, but still, there is nothing. Just the empty, cold hallway stretching out in front of you. Your mind races. The walls around you feel like they're closing in, suffocating you. Every corner, every shadow seems to hold something waiting, watching, hungry for you to come closer. You hear the soft shuffle of footsteps dragging across the floor, but the sound seems to come from all directions at once, as if the very building itself is alive. The footsteps grow louder, closer, until you can feel the vibrations under your feet. A figure emerges from the shadows, but it's not quite right. The form is too tall, too thin, like a distorted version of a person stretched and twisted. Its movements are jerky, unnatural, as though it doesn't belong to this world. The figure reaches out with long, spindly arms, its fingers clawing at the air like a ghost trying to reach through the veil. You want to scream, but your voice catches in your throat, stifled by the terror that grips you. The figure doesn't speak, but you can feel its presence. You can feel its hunger, its need to claim you, to pull you into the darkness. Suddenly, the flashlight flickers one last time and goes out, plunging you into complete darkness. The air feels thicker now, heavy with something that isn't quite right. You can feel the temperature drop, the room around you becoming colder, each breath you take coming out in visible puffs. The darkness seems to swallow you whole, and for a moment you can't hear anything but the pounding of your own heart. Then you hear it, a scraping sound, slow and deliberate, moving closer to you. It's like nails against stone, a sound so jarring that it feels like it's scraping at your very soul. The darkness around you seems to pulse like it's alive, and the figure, whatever it is, draws closer. You can hear its ragged breathing, uneven and labored, as though it's struggling to exist in this world, to reach you. Your instincts scream at you to run, to get away from the thing that's closing in on you. But your legs won't move. The terror paralyzes you, your body refusing to respond. The scraping sound grows louder, closer, and then a voice. It's the same voice you've been hearing all along, but now it's closer, louder, clearer. "Help me!" The whisper cuts through the darkness, and this time it's not coming from the figure. It's coming from the walls, from the ceiling, from the very air around you. The figure reaches out its hand, nearly grazing your skin. The cold from its touch burns, seeping into your body, leaving a trail of icy numbness. You gasp, but the breath catches in your throat. The darkness swarms around you, its fingers closing and suffocating you. And then everything goes silent. No more footsteps, no more scraping, no more voice. Just the cold, quiet emptiness. The darkness has swallowed everything, and you realize in that terrifying moment that you are alone. But you are not truly alone. You never were. The silence is deafening. It presses in on you from all sides, thick and suffocating, like the very air is holding its breath. Your mind races spinning, trying to make sense of what just happened. The figure, the voice, the crushing presence that seemed to come from everywhere. But now there's nothing. Just the empty void of the sanatorium, dark and still. Your heartbeat is the only sound you can hear thudding loudly in your ears as you stand frozen in place. The darkness seems to close around you, wrapping itself around your body like an oppressive shroud. The temperature continues to drop the cold, now seeping deep into your bones. You can feel it creeping along your skin, crawling under your clothes, freezing the very marrow in your bones. But even the cold doesn't match the chill that runs through your veins. Something far deeper, something that gnaws at your insides with a deep primal terror. Your hand, which had been gripping the flashlight, trembles uncontrollably. You fumble for the switch, but it's no use. The light is dead. The shadows now seem to stretch infinitely before you, darker than anything you've ever known. You wonder if you've truly stepped into another world, into a place where time itself has stopped. Help me! The voice comes again, but this time it's different. It's clearer now. There's a desperation in it, a pleading that pulls at the very core of your being. The voice is coming from everywhere, from the walls, from the floor, from the very air around you. It doesn't sound human anymore, but something else. A distorted, unnatural sound that chills you to your core. You try to move to take a step, but your feet feel heavy like they're trapped in concrete. Every part of your body is frozen in place. The weight of the building presses down on you, the very walls themselves feeling alive, breathing closing in. You can hear faint whispers, voices overlapping, speaking in languages you don't understand, but they all share a common thread, the pleading for help. You close your eyes tightly, forcing yourself to breathe deeply, trying to steady the panic that threatens to overwhelm you. But the air feels thicker with every breath. The sound of scratching low and drawn out echoes in the distance, making the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. It's moving again. Something is moving through the darkness, and it's getting closer. The temperature continues to drop. You can see your breath now, white clouds of air swirling around you as you exhale. You press your hands to your face, desperate for some kind of warmth, but it's no use. The cold is relentless, seeping through your skin, freezing your thoughts. The darkness seems endless, and you have no idea which way to go. Then suddenly, you hear it. A soft tapping sound. It's gentle at first, a slow, rhythmic tapping, almost like fingers on the walls. But then it grows faster, louder, as though someone or something is running their hands along the stone walls, moving quickly in your direction. Your stomach turns. You know that sound. It's not right. There's something fundamentally wrong about it. The tapping comes closer. You spin around, looking into the impenetrable blackness, but there's nothing. The air is still. The shadows stretch farther than the light of your dying flashlight can reach. Still, the sound grows louder, closer, until it's deafening in your ears. Your body freezes in place once again, unwilling to move, paralyzed by the terror clawing at your mind. You turn slowly, eyes darting, nervously trying to find the source. The tapping is now joined by a low, guttural sound, like a moan, a breath. The sound chills you to your core, deep within your soul. It's not a human sound. It's something worse, something inhuman. The moaning grows louder and then suddenly stops. Silence, and then help me. The voice is clearer now, almost as if it's right beside you, whispering in your ear. The breath on your neck is icy cold, and for a moment you're sure you feel something, some presence behind you. But when you spin around, there's nothing but the darkness. You back away slowly, trying to distance yourself from the feeling of being watched, but the darkness seems to move with you. The walls press closer with every step you take. The floor beneath you feels unstable, shifting like quicksand, and you struggle to keep your balance as you take step after step, your feet feeling heavier with each one. You can't breathe. The weight of the building is pressing down on you, the cold seeping deeper into your skin. The moaning comes again, and this time, it's not a whisper. It's a scream. A soul-rending scream of anguish that makes your blood run cold. It echoes through the halls, a sound so raw, so filled with pain, that you feel it reverberating in your very chest. And then, as quickly as it came, the scream is gone. The building is silent again, save for the rapid beat of your heart. You stand in the darkness, waiting for the next sound, the next movement. But there's nothing. You can't see anything, and you can't hear anything. The silence is so thick, so all-encompassing, it feels as though the building itself is holding its breath. You start to move again cautiously, your footsteps tentative. The hallway stretches out before you, a labyrinth of shadows, and every direction seems to lead nowhere. The walls are closing in, squeezing tighter with every step you take. The cold is unbearable now, freezing you from the inside out, and your body aches with the effort of simply staying upright. And then you see it, a flicker of light, a shadow moving just ahead. You freeze, staring into the dark, waiting. The figure appears again, just a silhouette standing at the end of the hall. It's too tall, too thin. Its form is stretched, twisted in unnatural shape, moving with jerky, frantic motions. It raises its hand and you can hear the scraping sound again, the sound of nails dragging along stone. And then in the dead silence, the figure speaks. "Help me!" The words are not a plea. They are a command, a demand. And with that, you know deep down, somewhere in your soul, that you've crossed a line you can't uncross. You're no longer alone. The darkness presses in on you from every side, suffocating and unyielding. The temperature has plummeted, and every breath you take feels like shards of ice piercing your chest. The figure at the end of the hall stands motionless, its tall, twisted form silhouetted against the faintest trace of light. Its hand is still raised, fingers crooked and impossibly long, its skin stretched taut over bones that seem too thin, too frail to support such a creature. But it stands there, waiting, watching. "Help me!" The figure repeats, its voice distorted, almost unnatural, like a broken record. The words send a tremor through your spine. This isn't a plea, it's a command, a cold, unfeeling demand for your attention, your presence. The sound of its voice echoes, bouncing off the walls, reverberating through your mind, drowning out every other thought, every ounce of your will. Your feet feel like they've been anchored to the floor, and no matter how hard you try, your legs refuse to move. It's as though the very air around you has turned to stone, binding you to the spot. For a moment, you wonder if you're dreaming. Perhaps you tell yourself none of this is real. Maybe the fear, the cold, the endless darkness are just figments of your imagination, a product of the building's oppressive atmosphere. You close your eyes, hoping that when you open them again, the figure will be gone. But when you do, nothing has changed. The figure remains, its unnatural limbs hanging at its sides, the blackness surrounding it like a thick fog. And then you hear it, the faint sound of footsteps, slow, deliberate, and heavy, coming from behind you. You whip around, but there's nothing there. Nothing except the same cold, empty hallway, the same oppressive darkness. The footsteps, though, continue getting closer with every passing second. The sound is too close, too real. You turn back to the figure at the end of the hall. It hasn't moved. But the presence around you feels different now. The air is thick with an overwhelming sense of dread. The whispers, those faint, unintelligible voices you thought you heard earlier, are louder now, more insistent. They seem to be coming from everywhere, from the walls, the floor, the very air. The sound of scratching like nails against stone fills the air again, and the figure raises its head, slowly tilting it to the side as if studying you. Its eyes are black pits, empty voids that seem to draw in all the light, and as it moves, its form seems to stretch and twist, bending at impossible angles. The darkness closes in, growing thicker, and you feel something, someone behind you now. The footsteps are right there, almost at your back. But when you spin around again, there's still nothing. The laughter begins again. It's soft at first, like the sound of a child's giggle, but it quickly grows louder, turning into a high-pitched, frantic cackle. The figure at the end of the hall doesn't move, but its eyes, the dark, empty pits that should have been lifeless, seem to gleam with a sinister, mocking light. The laughter echoes off the walls, bouncing around you in a dizzying, disorienting spiral. The sound twists your mind, making everything feel unreal, as if you've crossed some invisible line between reality and nightmare. You can feel the presence now, close behind you, almost suffocating. It's breathing just inches from your ear, but when you turn, there's nothing there. The footsteps have stopped, the laughter has faded, and all you can hear is the pounding of your own heart, loud in the silence. You take a step back, and then another, but the darkness seems to follow, closing in on you, tightening with every movement you make. Your flashlight flickers again, the beam weak and unstable, but it illuminates something at the far end of the hall. You squint into the dark, trying to focus, and there it is, another figure standing in the shadows. This one is smaller, hunched, its features indistinct, but its posture is just as unnatural, just as twisted. It raises a hand toward you, and its fingers, just like the first, are impossibly long, elongated, and claw-like. The air seems to grow even colder, and you feel the distinct, horrible sensation of being surrounded. The walls seem to move in on you, the space growing smaller, tighter. You're being drawn toward the figures like a moth to a flame, unable to resist their pull. Every instinct in your body tells you to run, but your legs refuse to obey. It's as if the very force of the building itself has become something tangible, something powerful enough to trap you here, in the heart of its darkest depths. The second figure steps forward, its movement jerky, mechanical, like it's struggling to exist in this world. The first figure doesn't move, but its empty eyes are fixed on you, unblinking, unyielding. You try to scream, but the sound catches in your throat, trapped in the suffocating grip of fear. You take a step back, and then another, but there's nowhere to go. The hall stretches endlessly, and every turn seems to lead back to the figures. There's no escape. The scratching noise returns louder now, almost deafening. You can feel it vibrating in your bones and the marrow of your very soul. It's as though the building itself is trying to tear you apart, piece by piece. The figures step forward, again their movements becoming more fluid, more certain, as if they know what's coming next. You can hear their breathing now, slow and deep, as if they're savoring the moment, savoring your fear. Then in a voice that seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at once, the first figure speaks again. "Help me!" It's not a request. It's a demand. The voice cracks, breaking, but it's still unmistakable. The figure reaches toward you, its claw-like fingers stretching out, and you feel it, the pull. It's not physical, but it's just as real. It draws you toward it, the force of it consuming your every thought, your every breath. You're not sure how much longer you can fight it. Suddenly, the walls tremble. The very foundation of the building shakes. The floor beneath you feels unstable, like it could give way at any moment. The figures stop, their attention now drawn to something above, something that you can't see. The floor rumbles again, and the sound of scraping metal fills the air, followed by a series of violent thuds. You brace yourself for what's to come, but it's not the figures that scare you now. It's the darkness, and it's coming for you. The darkness grows, folding in on itself as the ground beneath you trembles with a low, ominous hum. You can feel it, a vibration that shakes the very walls, resonating deep within your bones. The figures at the end of the hall remain motionless, their unnerving presence still looming, but the atmosphere has changed. There's a new weight to the air, something far more oppressive, more ancient than anything you've encountered so far. It's as if the building is alive, breathing, with a deep, hollow pulse. The floor beneath your feet shudders again, sending a ripple through the walls that causes the windows to rattle. The scratching noise intensifies now, almost deafening, scraping against the stone walls like claws dragging across raw flesh. The sound is no longer just disturbing. It's physical, vibrating the very space around you. You can feel the hairs on your neck prickle as the temperature continues to plummet. The air is thick with a strange static energy, the kind that often precedes a storm. The building itself seems to groan in agony, its timbers creaking, as if it's protesting your presence, as if it's angry at being disturbed. A low growl rumbles from somewhere deep within the bowels of the sanatorium, a sound that seems to originate from the very heart of the earth itself. The figures are no longer just standing in place. The second figure, the smaller one, hunched over and twisted, starts to move, but its motions are jerky, as if it's struggling to maintain its shape. It lurches forward, dragging itself toward you with disturbing slowness, its limbs moving at unnatural angles, snapping and cracking as it draws closer. You try to step back, but your feet are stuck in place. It's as if the very ground has turned to quicksand, pulling you down, trapping you in place. You look at the first figure, the taller one, with the hollow eyes, and the darkness around it seems to ripple, like the air itself is being sucked into the void it creates. The smaller figure comes closer, dragging itself along the floor, the sound of its movements sending waves of dread through your entire being. It doesn't make a sound as it moves, but the weight of its presence is suffocating. You can feel it now. This thing, whatever it is, has come from somewhere beyond the physical realm, from a place where no living being should ever tread. Help me. The first figure croaks again, but the voice is different this time. It's not a plea. It's a command. A dark, guttural command that fills the air, vibrating your skull as if the words are being etched into your very mind. The very fabric of your thoughts feels like it's unraveling in response to that voice. The second figure is nearly upon you now, its distorted face staring at you with those empty, soulless eyes. You want to scream, to run, but your body is frozen, unable to move. The figure opens its mouth, revealing rows of jagged yellowed teeth. Its breath is cold, icy, and it stinks of something putrid, something dead. A terrible weight presses against your chest, as though its very gaze is sinking into you, pulling at the core of your being, dragging you down into the void that lies beneath. Suddenly the lights flicker just for a moment, and then you hear it. A sound unlike any you've heard before, a combination of metal grinding something breaking, and then the scream of 1,000 souls, all of them crying out in torment, trapped within the walls of this cursed building. It's so loud, so powerful, that you feel the sound vibrate inside your chest, resonating deep within you. It's the scream of the building itself, and it fills you with an overwhelming sense of despair. The figures vanish. One moment they're there looming in the darkness, and the next they're gone. The scream continues, its pitch rising higher and higher until it feels like it's tearing at the very fabric of reality. You want to flee to escape, but your legs won't move. Your mind is paralyzed by fear, overwhelmed by the force of the sound and the cold grip of the darkness. The air grows heavier still. It feels like something is watching you from the shadows, something that hasn't shown itself yet. The very walls seem to pulse, as though the building is alive, breathing with a dark, malevolent force. And then, slowly, the lights flicker once more, and in the fleeting light, you see it. A figure this time much larger standing in the doorway at the far end of the hall. It's towering, cloaked in a shifting mass of shadow, its form indistinct but terrifying. The darkness surrounding it is almost tangible, like it's pulling the very light from the room, suffocating everything in its path. Its eyes, if they can be called eyes, are nothing but empty voids, infinite blackness that seems to consume all light around them. The creature steps forward, its movement slow but deliberate, and the very air seems to vibrate with its presence. The ground trembles with each step it takes, the walls shaking, groaning under its weight. The scraping noise comes again, now louder, closer. It's the sound of claws dragging against the stone floor, a noise so terrifying that it feels like it's crawling under your skin. Your breath catches in your throat. You feel the overwhelming presence of the creature as it gets closer, its shadow casting a long, dark silhouette down the hall. The lights flicker again, casting everything in flashes of pale white, and in the brief moments of illumination, you see something even more terrifying. The walls are covered in marks, deep scratches, as though something has been trying to claw its way out. Some of the marks are fresh, still raw, as if they were made just moments ago. "Help me!" The voice comes again, but it's different now. It's not one voice. It's a chorus of voices, a cacophony of whispers that seems to come from all around you. The walls, the floor, the ceiling, the darkness itself. The voices call to you, each one different but united in their agony, their pain. The figure draws closer, its eyes fixed on you, its presence so overwhelming that it feels like the very air is being sucked from your lungs. Your body shakes, but you can't move. The grip of fear is too strong. The figure is right in front of you now, its shadow engulfing you completely. It raises a hand, and you feel the icy cold of its touch as it brushes against your skin, a coldness that sinks deep into your flesh. The darkness closes in, and you realize with a sickening certainty that this is the end. There is no escape. You've stepped too far into the void, and now the darkness will claim you, just as it has claimed so many before you. And with that final heart-stopping realization, everything goes black. The blackness is suffocating, an endless void that wraps itself around you like a heavy blanket. You try to move, to breathe, but there is nothing. No sound, no light. Only the crushing weight of the darkness pressing in from every direction, suffocating your thoughts, clouding your mind. The world around you feels like it's been swallowed by a deep, cold nothingness, as though you've been pulled into a place where time and space no longer exist. But even in this void, you feel it, that presence. It's close now, so close you can feel the heat of its breath on your skin, the sharpness of its gaze cutting through the oppressive darkness. The cold is unbearable, but it's not just the temperature that chills you. It's the realization that whatever this presence is, it's inside you now. Its weight is pressing on your chest, pulling at your heart, sinking into your very soul. You can't escape it. Help me! The voice comes again, but this time it's no longer just a whisper. It's a low, guttural growl that seems to vibrate the very air around you. It's inside your head and your thoughts, echoing over and over like a broken record, making you feel as though you're being torn apart from the inside. You try to scream, to shout out, but your voice doesn't respond. It's as though your body has been silenced, frozen by whatever force surrounds you. Panic rises in your chest, but the more you try to fight it, the deeper you sink into the darkness. Every attempt to move feels like you're sinking into quicksand, your limbs heavy, unresponsive. The presence grows stronger, and you feel it, its hunger. It's not just a feeling of being watched anymore. It's as though this thing is feeding on you, drawing your energy, your very essence into itself. Your body is no longer your own, as though the darkness itself has claimed it, dragging you deeper into the void. And then you hear it, a soft sound at first barely perceptible in the vast, crushing silence. It's a whisper, a call, a voice that's not quite yours. Come closer, it says. Come to me. The words swirl around you like smoke curling into your mind, filling it with a sense of dread that's impossible to ignore. You try to push the voice out to block it from your thoughts, but it continues louder now, more insistent. Come closer. You feel yourself moving forward against your will, your body betraying you as you're pulled through the blackness. You can't see, you can't hear, and yet the movement feels real, too real. You're not sure how you're moving, but you know one thing. You're heading towards something. You don't know what it is. You don't want to know, but it's too late. The pull is too strong. You can't fight it anymore. The darkness is alive, and it's guiding you towards something far worse than you could ever imagine. And then, like a flash of light, piercing the pitch-black void, you see it. A shape. A figure. The same towering, monstrous form you saw in the hallway before. It's standing in front of you now, its dark, twisted shape looming like a mountain of shadow. The air around it crackles with a terrible energy, a static charge that makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end. The figure is still watching you with those black, endless eyes that seem to swallow everything in their gaze. It doesn't move, but its presence fills the space around you, crushing you with an unbearable weight. The growl comes again, louder this time, echoing through the void. You can feel it vibrating inside your chest, shaking you to your core. Help me. It demands its voice now, a deep, gravelly sound that seems to tear at your very soul. And then slowly, the figure raises its hand, a clawed skeletal appendage that moves with deliberate slowness, as if savoring the moment. You want to run to escape, but your body is frozen, incapable of movement. You're locked in place, unable to look away from the creature that towers over you. Its fingers stretch out toward you, impossibly long, impossibly thin, each joint cracking as it moves closer. You can feel the air shift, the temperature plummeting even further. The figure's hand draws closer, the coldness of its touch emanating from the space between you. It's like ice, sharp and unforgiving, and when its fingers finally touch your skin, it's like the world is being ripped apart. The darkness deepens, and you feel the sensation of falling. Your body is weightless, and for a brief moment you think you're drifting, suspended in the void. But then, you hit the ground with a violent crash, the impact knocking the breath out of you. You gasp for air, but the air is thick, suffocating as though you're drowning in the very atmosphere. You open your eyes, but there's nothing to see. No light, no movement, nothing but the oppressive weight of the darkness pressing down on you from all sides. And then the voices return. Dozens of them. Hundreds of them. They're all around you, speaking in a language you don't understand, their words overlapping, confusing, distorted. They're everywhere in your mind, in your ears, surrounding you. The voices grow louder and louder until they become a deafening roar, a cacophony of noise that fills your head, fills your soul. Help me. The voice, the same voice, but now it's a chorus of pleading, of begging, of endless torment. You feel yourself being pulled in all directions, at once the very fabric of your reality, stretching and warping, and then a cold, jagged laugh echoes through the darkness, one that chills you to the bone. It's not the figure that laughs. It's not even one voice. It's something older, something much older, something that's been here far longer than you could ever imagine. The laugh grows louder, the sound of it reverberating through your skull, breaking your thoughts into pieces. And with that final laugh, you know, you've crossed a threshold from which there is no return. Waverly Hills is not just a building. It's not just a place. It's a prison, and you are its latest prisoner. And in the deepest part of the void, you hear it once more. Help me! But now you know. It's not the voice that's begging for help. It's you. The darkness is suffocating, its weight pressing down on you like 1,000 unseen hands. Your body is still unmoving, as if trapped in the very ground beneath you. The voices continue to swirl around you, overlapping, their words growing more desperate, more frantic, their tones shifting from pleading to threatening. You try to shut them out, to block them from your mind, but they're everywhere, inside and outside, filling the very air you breathe. Their whispers are like 1,000 needles pricking at your thoughts, tearing at your sanity. Help me! The voice comes again, but this time it's not just one voice. It's a chorus of voices, all crying out for aid, all pleading for release. You can't tell where one voice ends and another begins, and it feels as though you're drowning in their agony, their need, their desperation. You want to scream, to yell at them to stop, but your mouth is sealed shut, your throat frozen, unable to produce a single sound. And then a shadow moves in the distance at first, just a flicker, a shape that seems to warp and bend with the dark. It's tall, impossibly tall, and as it steps forward, you feel the very ground tremble beneath its weight. The figure looms over you, its presence so powerful that it feels like the entire world is caving in. Its form is an amalgamation of darkness and shapes that can't be defined, an impossible creature with jagged edges, half-formed limbs, and a face that is both familiar and alien. It is something that exists beyond the realm of human understanding, beyond the laws of nature and the world you once knew. The figure extends a hand toward you, and you can feel the pull of its presence, a force that tugs at your very essence, pulling you toward it. You struggle, your body rebelling against its influence, but it's no use. You feel your body being drawn in inch by inch, as though your will no longer matters, as though you no longer have control over yourself. Your feet drag through the ground, your body moving toward the figure against your will, and the closer you get, the colder the air becomes. It's so cold now that your skin begins to burn, the icy chill sinking deeper into your flesh, gnawing at your bones. The figure's face comes into view, though it's not a face in the way you understand it. Its features are fractured, shifting like broken glass, impossible to comprehend. But you feel its gaze, its eyes, if they can be called eyes, are pools of black, endless, bottomless. They stare at you with an intensity that makes your stomach twist. You can feel it deep within you, a presence that is not just watching, but consuming. Its gaze isn't just on you, it's in you, reaching into the deepest parts of your mind, stripping you bare, exposing everything you've ever hidden. And then with a movement that defies logic, the figure speaks. Do you know what it feels like to be trapped? The voice says, not in words, but in feelings. It's a voice that reverberates in your chest, a voice that speaks directly to your soul. The words cut deep, and they feel like they are written in your very blood, inscribed into the fibers of your being. Do you know what it's like to be forgotten? The darkness around you seems to pulse in response, a terrible throb that grows with each passing second. The shadows twist and writhe, forming shapes that reach toward you, their fingers stretching, seeking. You feel them brush against your skin, cold and sharp, like icy claws dragging along your flesh. The air becomes thick, suffocating, and every breath you take feels like you're inhaling something far worse than air, like you're breathing in despair itself. The figure's face twists as if smiling, or perhaps it's mocking you. Its mouth, a jagged slit in its impossibly dark form, stretches into a grin that is more horrifying than anything you could imagine. Its teeth are sharp, serrated, and its breath is like the wind in a tomb, dry and suffocating. You were never meant to leave, it says. The words are not spoken, they are felt. They resonate deep within you, breaking through every layer of your mind like they are part of you, woven into the fabric of your very existence. You feel the weight of its words pressing against you. And in that moment, you know that everything, the darkness, the voices, the figures, is part of something far older, something ancient. This place, Waverly Hills, isn't just haunted by the ghosts of those who once lived here. It is haunted by something far worse, a hunger that has been waiting for an eternity to be fed. And now you are its next meal. The air around you grows heavier, thicker, as the figure leans in closer, its breath cold against your face. You wanted to know, didn't you? The figure whispers its voice, slipping into your mind like poison. You wanted to understand. Now you will. The space around you warps again, the darkness itself becoming a swirling vortex that pulls you deeper into its grasp. You can feel the ground beneath you give way, your body falling. But there's no sense of gravity, no sensation of direction. You are falling, but it feels as though the entire world is spinning around you, a dizzying blur of shadow and light sound and silence. The walls of the sanatorium vanish, replaced by a void, a place beyond space, beyond time. A place where the only thing that exists is the endless, suffocating darkness. In the distance, you hear a sound. It's distant at first, but it grows louder, clearer. A chorus of voices, all of them crying out in pain and agony. The voices echo through the void, growing louder and louder until they become a deafening roar, a sound that fills your mind, your soul, until it drowns out everything else. You try to cover your ears, but the sound is inside you, impossible to escape. And then, just as suddenly as it all began, it stops. The darkness fades, the voices fall silent, and you are left standing in the empty emptiness, staring into the black void that surrounds you. Your body feels heavy, weighed down by the darkness that has seeped into your very being. But you're not alone. You never were. From the farthest reaches of the void, a voice whispers just a single word: welcome. And you realize in that moment with a chilling clarity that there's no escape. You are now part of this place, part of its endless hunger, part of its eternal night. The darkness around you deepens, pressing in from all sides, like the very fabric of reality itself has dissolved, leaving you in an endless abyss. You blink, trying to adjust your eyes to the suffocating blackness, but there is no change. There is nothing to see, nothing to feel, except the weight of the air around you. The voices from before the whispers, the cries, the desperate pleas have faded into a hollow echo, as though they were never truly there to begin with. But the feeling of being watched has not gone. It's worse now. It presses on you, suffocating you in its intensity. The air is thick with a malignant energy, a force that seems to be alive, pulsating with every breath you take. It isn't just that you feel like you're being observed. You feel pulled, as if the void itself is drawing you closer to something ancient, something powerful, and something far darker than anything you could comprehend. And then, just as your mind begins to break under the weight of the silence and the absence of light, you hear it again. A low growl, almost imperceptible, but unmistakable. It's the sound of something not human, something not quite alive, yet not quite dead either. It feels like it's coming from all directions, vibrating the very air around you, reverberating through your bones. The growl is not threatening, nor is it hostile. It is ancient, deep, and hauntingly familiar. Like the growl of something that has been waiting for centuries or perhaps even longer. You turn, or at least you try to, but the space around you remains unchanged. The emptiness remains complete. You want to call out to ask where you are, but the words get stuck in your throat, unable to escape. The silence is suffocating, and for a moment, it feels like the very air around you is a living thing, wrapping around you, squeezing your lungs, and tightening your chest. Help me! The voice comes again. But this time it's different. It's not the same voice you've heard before. It's not the twisted figure or the chorus of the damned. This voice is softer, more fragile. A voice that carries with it a sense of deep, endless sorrow. A voice that seems to come from somewhere far beyond your understanding, from a place where time and space have no meaning. Help me! The words drift through the silence, like a thread of sound weaving their way into the darkness. You don't know where it's coming from, but you know that it's calling to you, begging for something only you can give. You feel it in the deepest recesses of your mind, that nagging sense that you've heard these words before, that this voice is not unfamiliar. In fact, it feels as though it's a part of you, as though you've been connected to it all along, though you cannot understand how or why. Help me! The voice comes again, but this time it's accompanied by a low, rhythmic sound, a heartbeat, a pulse steady and strong, like the very core of the universe itself is beating in time with your own heart. The sound grows louder, closer, until it feels like it's inside you, beating with every breath, every thought, every movement. The pressure in your chest grows. The darkness feels colder, now colder than it's ever been. It's not just the absence of light, but the absence of warmth. The air around you is so cold that it feels like it's seeping into your very bones, freezing you from the inside out. And yet, you cannot look away from the sound, from the voice that calls to you, the voice that begs. for your attention. You reach out instinctively, your hand trembling as you try to touch the emptiness around you. But there is nothing to hold on to. No walls, no floor, no ceiling. Just an endless void stretching out in every direction, consuming everything in its path. You could scream, you could run, but you're not sure if any of that would matter. The darkness has already taken you, and yet there's still that pulse, that heartbeat. The voice calls to you again, softer now, almost as though it's fading. Please, you don't know how you know, but you know what it wants. You know what it's asking for, what it's pleading for you to do. You're not sure if you're ready to face whatever lies ahead, to give in to the pull of the voice. But as the heartbeat grows louder, more insistent, you realize something. The pulse isn't just the voice. It's not just a sound. It's you. And then the darkness shifts. The air begins to hum with a low resonating vibration, and you feel it like a wave, a pulse of energy moving through you, through the void, through everything. The emptiness around you ripples, distorts, and for a brief moment, you see it. A glimmer. A flash of light, bright and harsh, before it vanishes again. But in that moment, you understand. The darkness is not just a place. It's not just a prison. It's a door. A door that opens only when the pulse aligns, when the heart of the darkness beats in unison with your own. And the voice, that pleading, desperate voice, is not just calling to you. It's calling to all of you. Every part of you, every memory, every breath, every heartbeat, every shadow that has ever existed in the deepest corners of your mind. The space around you begins to shift, to bend, to change. You can feel the pull of the void around you, the magnetic force of it pulling you in, drawing you closer to the center of the darkness. You're not sure what awaits you there. Maybe it's the end. Maybe it's something far worse. But there's no going back now. The darkness has already claimed you, and as you are pulled deeper, the voice whispers one last time, clearer, now closer than ever. Help me. And with that, everything goes black again. For what feels like an eternity, there is nothing but the overwhelming silence and the vast, unending blackness that wraps around you, like a blanket suffocating and heavy. Time has lost all meaning. Your thoughts are muddled, distant, as if you're drifting between the waking world and something else, something darker, something you can't comprehend. There's a strange emptiness inside you, like a hollow void that's been carved into your very being. And then slowly, the silence begins to unravel. At first, it's just a faint sound, almost imperceptible, a soft rustling like dry leaves brushing against each other. But it grows louder, more distinct, and as the sound increases, you realize it's not just the darkness shifting. It's something moving toward you, a soft scraping like fingernails dragging across glass echoes through the emptiness. You know that sound. You've heard it before when you were trapped in the cold corridors of Waverly Hills, when you felt the chill of something following you. The scraping noise grows louder, more insistent, like a beast dragging itself closer and closer to your mind. The ground beneath you begins to shift, as though something is rising from the depths. You feel it first as a subtle tremor, then as a strong, undeniable force that pulls at the very core of your being. The air thickens with a pressure that makes your chest tighten, your lungs struggling to draw a breath. Something is coming. Something ancient. Something that has been waiting. The scraping intensifies, now mixed with the low, guttural growl you heard earlier. The same growl that rattled the very air around you. It's closer now, so close you can almost feel the vibrations in your bones, as if the creature is breathing down your neck, waiting for the right moment to strike. but still, there is no escape. The darkness holds you in its grip, and the pressure mounts, pushing you forward, pulling you into the unknown. Then a whisper. A voice, but not just any voice. This one is different. It's cold, rasping, full of sorrow and despair. It speaks in a language you don't understand, the words twisting in your mind, weaving through your thoughts like poison. The tone is agonizing, as if the voice itself is trapped, struggling to break free. The whisper turns to a low, relentless chant. You are mine. The words reverberate in your skull, each one resonating deep within your chest. You try to resist, to fight the pull, but it's like an iron chain wrapped around your soul, dragging you toward the center of the void. The darkness is closing in, and you feel it, its hunger, its need for you. You realize with chilling clarity that this place, this prison, is not just a structure. It's not just a building. It is alive, and you are the final piece of its puzzle. A sudden flash of light stabs through the blackness, blinding you for a split second. You stumble back, squinting, but when your eyes adjust, you find yourself in a place you don't recognize. A new room, a new space, though it feels oddly familiar. It's still dark here, but the walls are different. This room is not part of the sanatorium. It's something else, something older, something that transcends the physical world. The walls seem to breathe, expanding and contracting with each pulse, as though the room itself is alive, watching you. And in the center of the room, there's a figure. It's impossible to make out the figure's face. It's obscured by shadow, hidden by the same oppressive darkness that has consumed everything else. But its presence is undeniable. You feel it pressing down on you, the weight of it so heavy it feels like your lungs might collapse. And then it moves. The figure steps forward, slowly, deliberately, its movement slow and calculated, like a predator stalking its prey. The closer it gets, the more real it becomes, its shape becoming clearer with every step. You can almost see its outline now, a tall, imposing figure wrapped in black robes that seem to flow like liquid, its arms long and skeletal. It's humanoid, but not quite human. Its features are wrong, distorted, as if the very essence of its being is a twisted version of what it was meant to be. You open your mouth to scream, but no sound comes out. The figure is close now, so close that you can feel the cold emanating from its body, an unnatural chill that seems to freeze the very air around you. You want to run, but your feet are rooted to the ground, as though the room has swallowed you whole, trapping you in place. The figure raises its hand, and a chill runs down your spine. It extends a long, bony finger toward you, its black eyes glowing faintly in the darkness. The eyes are empty voids of nothingness that seem to swallow all light, all hope. As its finger inches closer, you feel a pull, as though its very gaze is dragging you in, forcing you to look into those endless depths. It speaks then in a voice that feels like it's coming from the very walls, from the air itself. You wanted to know. It whispers, its voice echoing in your mind. You wanted to see what lies beyond. Now you will see. With those words, the figure reaches out, and you feel its touch. It's colder than ice, colder than death itself, and when its fingers brush against your skin, it feels as though something is being ripped from you. Something deep inside. A part of your soul, a piece of your being, is being taken. The world around you begins to shudder, and the walls pulse in rhythm with the dark figure's presence. The room bends and warps the very fabric of reality, seeming to tear apart at the seams. You feel yourself being pulled, sucked toward the figure, its grip on you, tightening, dragging you into its void, and then In an instant, the world disappears. The room, the figure, the darkness, all of it vanishes. There's only the cold, the silence, the emptiness, and the voice. You are mine. And this time, there is no escape. The cold is relentless. It seeps into every fiber of your being, wrapping itself around you like a shroud, squeezing the breath from your lungs. You try to move to find something solid, something to ground you, but there is nothing. There is no floor beneath your feet, no walls to push against. You're floating suspended in an endless, empty space where the very concept of time seems to warp and break apart. The silence is deafening. You can feel the pressure building in your chest, the weight of the darkness pressing down from all sides, closing in like the jaws of some unseen beast. Your heartbeat is the only thing you can hear, its rhythm frantic and erratic, as if it's trying to escape the suffocating void around you. Every breath you take feels hollow, like it's not enough to fill the emptiness within you. And then the voice. You cannot escape. It echoes through the void, the words reverberating in your skull, shaking you to your very core. It's not just a voice anymore. It's the sound of the darkness itself, a force that permeates every corner of your mind, every crevice of your soul. It's not speaking to you. It's speaking through you. It's inside you, twisting your thoughts, bending your will to its own purpose. You are mine now. The words slither into your consciousness like a serpent coiling around your mind, squeezing tighter and tighter until you feel as though your very thoughts are being suffocated. You try to push them away, to resist, but it's useless. The voice is everywhere. It is you. It is the void. It is everything. A sudden shift. The darkness around you begins to warp and bend the air, distorting like ripples in a pond. The weight of the void becomes unbearable, pressing in on you from all directions. You try to scream, to fight back, but your body is no longer your own. It's as though you've become one with the darkness, your form melting away into the very shadows that surround you. There's no shape, no substance, only the endless expanse of nothing. The cold deepens, and you feel yourself falling, drifting through the void, at the mercy of whatever force has claimed you. Your thoughts are fragmented, disjointed, and for a moment you wonder if this is what it means to be truly lost, to be swallowed by the abyss, and left to fade into nothingness. But then something changes. A flicker of light, a crack in the darkness. It's faint at first, almost imperceptible, but it grows. Slowly, it widens like a door opening into another world. You reach toward it instinctively, your mind drawn to the light as though it's the only thing left in this empty, hollow existence. The light pulses brighter now, filling the void with a strange, unnatural glow. It feels warm, almost alive, as if it's calling to you, beckoning you forward. You take a step, or what feels like a step, though you have no feet to stand on, and move toward the light. With each movement, the darkness around you begins to recede, retreating like a tide pulling away from the shore. The air grows lighter, less suffocating, and you can feel the weight in your chest easing just a little. The voices grow quieter now, their presence fading into the distance. The cold is still there, but it's not as sharp, not as oppressive. You move forward again, compelled by the light, by the strange sense of hope that it carries with it. You can almost hear a sound, a soft hum, like a lullaby from another world. The closer you get, the louder it becomes, filling your mind with warmth, with something you can't quite understand. And then, the light explodes. A burst of brightness that shatters the darkness around you, sending shards of light scattering into the void. You feel yourself drawn into it, pulled by an unseen force, your body, your soul hurled into the light as though it's the only place you've ever known. But as the light surrounds you, you feel something strange. Something is not right. There is something behind the light. A presence, a shadow lingering just beyond the brightness watching you. The light itself is alive, but so too is the shadow that moves with it. You can feel it pressing in, crawling across your skin, filling your thoughts with a sense of dread. Help me. The voice returns, but this time it's no longer a whisper. It's a scream. A desperate, broken scream that sends chills through your very being. It's the same voice you've heard before, but now it's not just a call. It's a warning. You try to pull away from the light, but it's too late. You are already inside, already consumed by it. The shadows surround you now, creeping closer, and the air is filled with a foul stench, rotting, decaying like something long dead and forgotten. You want to scream, but no sound escapes. The light flickers, and with it the shadows grow stretching, reaching like hungry hands that are pulling you down into the darkness. You realize with a growing sense of horror that you've been chosen. This place, this void has claimed you, and it will not let you go. There is no escape, no salvation. You are trapped in its endless hunger, and it will feed on you until there is nothing left. As the light fades, the shadows engulf you completely, pulling you deeper, further into the abyss. The voice now twisted and broken echoes in your mind one last time. You are mine, and then there is nothing. Nothing but the cold, the silence, and the unrelenting, suffocating darkness. The cold stretches deeper into your bones, curling inside you like ice, spreading outwards, claiming every part of you. Your breath is shallow, each inhalation a struggle against the weight of the suffocating silence. For a moment, you wonder if you've been swallowed entirely, if this is what death feels like, or worse, if it's what it feels like to be trapped in an endless, unfeeling void, forever disconnected from everything you knew, everything you understood. But then something shifts, a flicker, a subtle tremor. The stillness that once gripped you loosens just for a moment, and in that fraction of time you realize that you're not alone. Not entirely. A cold presence presses in on you, swirling in the air, circling like something familiar, yet distant. Something that's been waiting in the darkness, waiting for you to come to this very moment. The weight on your chest grows heavier, and the darkness seems to pulse with a sickening rhythm, each beat in time with your own frantic heart. You try to steady your breath, but the air is thick, too thick, like you're breathing through water. The blackness around you flickers like the glow of distant stars dim far off, yet burning with an insistent force. You're still here, the voice says, and this time it's different. There's no begging, no desperation in its tone. It's cold, almost amused. I never let go. The sound of the voice echoes through the void like a bell tolling in a long-forgotten cathedral. You want to scream, to cry out, to fight back, but your voice has long been stolen. Your body paralyzed, unwilling, like it has already given itself over to whatever force now controls you. The voice continues as if savoring every word. You were always meant to be here. The words ripple through the dark, like a stone dropped into a still pond, sending waves of distortion across your mind. You don't understand. How can you be meant to be here? You were just a visitor, just a fleeting presence in this forsaken place. But the words seem to wind around your thoughts, warping them, twisting your reality, until you can no longer tell if this is a nightmare or something worse. The voice continues, its taunting deeper, now richer, like it's taking on a life of its own. I have waited for you. We have waited for you. The darkness shifts again this time, with purpose. It bends, twists, and sharp, jagged shadows materialize in the space around you. figures, shapes, glimpses of faces that flicker in and out of view. Eyes, mouths, limbs, just enough to hint at something crawling from the edges of your vision. But they are not human. They are something else, something older. You feel them, their presence pressing against you from all directions, like hands reaching for you, pulling you deeper into the blackened abyss. They move closer, each one breathing, each one sharing that same suffocating chill that fills the air, filling your lungs with the weight of their existence. Their movements are slow, deliberate, like predators stalking their prey, their jagged limbs stretching out toward you. You're here for a reason, the voice says, softer now, almost kind. Don't be afraid. You're part of something much bigger than yourself. The darkness begins to take on a shape of form. It's hard to describe, hard to understand, but you can feel it growing around you, swirling like a storm about to break. The air is thick now, charged, as though it's filled with static, the hairs on your skin standing on end as something deep, primal stirs within you. The cold seeps in further until you feel like you might crack open from the pressure. Look, the voice commands, and you obey. Your mind feels like it's being dragged through the dark, like the very fabric of your thoughts is unraveling, stretched thin over a cold, twisted frame. There, in the heart of the void, something emerges. It's faint at first, just a glow, an unnatural flickering light that cuts through the darkness like a blade. But as it gets closer, you see it clearly. It's a doorway, a gateway, its edges jagged and broken, as if it were carved from the very fabric of this place. It stands alone in the center of the endless void, waiting. And on the other side, you feel it. A presence. Something waiting. Something ancient. Something powerful. The voice laughs softly, cruelly, as the doorway begins to hum a deep, resonant sound that vibrates through your body. Step through it. You belong here now. The words no longer a plea, but a command vibrate in the air around you. The gateway beckons, its light growing brighter, more intense, pulling you in like a force of nature, unwilling to be ignored. It's not just a doorway, it's an invitation, but an invitation to what you feel the question hanging in the air, but you already know the answer. There's no choice. The moment you crossed into this place, you sealed your fate. You belong to it now. This place is not just a building. It is a world, a living, breathing entity. And you are part of it now. The shadows around you close in once again, their forms becoming clearer, their grotesque figures moving closer. The coldness is unbearable, but it's nothing compared to the emptiness that presses against your chest, that gnaws at your soul. And then with no warning, you are drawn toward the gateway. You fight it for a moment, but there's nothing you can do. Your feet move, though you don't will them to. Your body, your soul, everything about you is being pulled into the light of the doorway. The cold hands that grip you, the shadows that cling to your skin, they are not stopping you. They are pushing you forward, and with one final shuddering breath, you step through. The moment your body passes through the doorway, the world shifts. You feel it. The air is different, heavier, thicker, and yet there is something familiar about it. The oppressive, crushing cold fades into something else, a twisted warmth thick with decay, rich with a promise of something ancient, something that should never have been touched. As the darkness around you solidifies, the figures whisper their voices, overlapping each one, adding to the cacophony in your mind. The light from the doorway flickers and fades behind you, leaving you in the embrace of whatever lies on the other side. The presence in the air grows stronger. The weight of it feels final, like the last door has closed, and you are now on the other side, where there is no going back. And the voice, that haunting voice, is the last thing you hear as you slip deeper into the abyss. Welcome home. The darkness wraps around you heavy and suffocating like a dense fog that clings to your skin. It is no longer just an absence of light. This is something far worse. It is alive, a twisting, writhing entity that seems to breathe with you, moving in time, with your every thought, your every pulse. The air around you is thick, almost viscous, and every inhalation feels like you're pulling in the very essence of the void. The chill has vanished, replaced by a strange, suffocating warmth, a warmth that feels wrong, unnatural. You try to move, but your legs feel heavy, as though they're weighed down by the very ground beneath you. Every step you take is slow, labored, as if the floor itself is pulling you down, dragging you back. You can't see anything. The world around you is a blur, but the feeling is undeniable. You are not alone. You never were. The voice, that same haunting voice, fills your mind again. Welcome home. Its words are thick with meaning, layered with something ancient, something you can't quite grasp. The voice echoes inside your skull, wrapping around your thoughts, squeezing them tighter with every repetition. You try to ignore it, but it's no use. It's inside you now, burrowing deep, feeding on your fear, your confusion. You want to scream, to fight back, but your voice is gone. Your body is a prisoner to the force that surrounds you, and the harder you try to resist, the deeper you sink into the oppressive dark. There is no escape. There is no way out. A sudden shift. The world around you seems to quiver, like the very fabric of reality is rippling, warping. The ground beneath you trembles, as if something is moving beneath it, something vast and powerful. The walls of the void begin to pulse, glowing faintly, their shapes flickering in and out of existence like shadows cast by an unseen fire. The feeling of being watched intensifies, and you can't help but feel that the darkness around you is alive, watching you, judging you. The voice grows louder, more insistent. You are here for a reason. You always were. You want to scream, but the words are lost, trapped behind the barrier of fear that's constricting your throat. You can feel something pulling at your soul, like invisible hands, reaching into the deepest parts of you, dragging you towards something beyond this place. It feels as though the very air is pressing against you, suffocating you, bending your body to its will. And then it happens. The shadows around you twist and shape themselves into something more tangible, something you can almost feel in the pit of your stomach. It's like a mass of shifting, breathing darkness, but it takes shape, forming into something that is no longer just a formless void. You can see it now, them. Eyes. Countless eyes glowing faintly in the dark, peering out from every surface, from every corner. They are watching you, and as they do, they begin to move closer. You stumble backward, but the shadows follow you, their movements smooth like liquid. The eyes remain unblinking, relentless in their pursuit, their gaze sinking into you. Every time you turn, you see them again, multiplying, filling every corner, every inch of the darkness. The weight of their stare presses down on you, an unbearable pressure that makes it feel as though your mind might collapse under the strain. You belong to us now, the voice says, and this time it's different. It's not just one voice. It's the sound of many a chorus of voices, all distorted, all broken, all whispering the same words. Their collective breath seems to wrap itself around you, suffocating, drowning out any thought, any hope of escape. The darkness deepens, the eyes surrounding you, closing in, moving with a rhythm, a pattern that feels deliberate. The shadows twist, blending together until they form a single shape, one indistinct but undeniable. A figure, tall, impossibly tall, stretching upward into the void. Its outline is jagged like the shape of a nightmare, impossible to define, but unmistakably there. "We wait for you." The words come from everywhere, reverberating through your skull, shaking your thoughts into chaos. You want to flee, to run, but your legs won't move. Your body is trapped. Your mind is trapped. There is no escape, only the slow, relentless approach of the figure. You feel it now. Its presence is like a weight on your chest, as though it's pulling at your very soul, dragging you toward it. The eyes, the shadows, they all move together, closing the space between you and the figure. You feel yourself being drawn forward unwillingly, your body moving against your will. The air thickens as you near the figure, and you realize it's waiting for you. Its presence is consuming a dark gravity that pulls you toward it with every step you take. You try to scream, but there's nothing. The darkness fills your mouth, your lungs, and you realize that you can't breathe. You can't escape. The figure towers over you now, its form shifting and warping its jagged outline, flickering in and out of existence like a shape caught between worlds. "Welcome home." The voice whispers again, this time directly in your ear. You can feel it cold and real, like a breath on your skin, and with it comes a crushing weight, a sense of finality. You are not meant to leave. You were never meant to leave. And then the figure moves. It reaches toward you with limbs that are impossibly long, impossibly thin, its fingers curling like the branches of a dead tree. The moment its fingers touch your skin, the world shatters. The darkness swarms you, and the weight of it presses in from all sides, filling you completely. You feel yourself slip away. There is no sound, no light, only the dark and the whispering, and the unrelenting sense of being drawn into something far older than you, far darker than you could ever imagine. And in that final breathless moment, the voice speaks again. "You are mine now," and everything goes black. There is nothing. No light, no sound, just an infinite emptiness. It stretches on forever, a void that feels more like a tomb than a place. You don't know how much time has passed, minutes, hours, days, or is it all the same in this unending blackness? The weight that had been pressing against you has lifted, but the absence of it feels almost worse. The silence is deafening now, more oppressive than the presence of the shadows had been. It wraps itself around you, thick and heavy, as if the void itself is breathing, living, waiting. And then slowly the feeling begins to change. At first it's subtle, a faint pulse in the distance, so soft it could be your imagination. It grows slowly, like the beat of a heart, steady, unyielding. It presses against the void around you like a warning, a call. But to what? To whom? The pulse intensifies, and now it's not just a sound, it's a feeling. You can feel it in your chest, in your bones, vibrating through every nerve, every cell. It's pulling you toward something, some place. Your body feels weightless, floating in the darkness, but the pulse is drawing you in, tugging at you, dragging you forward like a force too powerful to resist. You try to fight it, to push against it, but your body moves without your permission. Your feet, your legs feel no longer your own. They carry you forward, step by step, through the endless black, as though the pulse is guiding you. As you move, the blackness begins to change. The air around you grows warmer, a slow, gradual shift from the biting cold that had enveloped you earlier. The warmth is not comforting. It feels wrong, heavy, like the air is thick with decay. It clings to you thick as tar, suffocating, as though the atmosphere itself is alive with something malignant, something hungry, The pulse grows louder, more distinct, and as you approach, the darkness begins to shift in response. A shape begins to form ahead of you, a silhouette faint at first, but growing stronger as you draw closer. It is a figure, but not a person, not something you recognize. It is something else. A mass of shadows that move like liquid, stretching, rippling, twisting. It is not solid, not physical, but it is there unmistakably. It radiates an intense energy, a presence that seems to draw everything around it, pulling the darkness into its form. And within that swirling mass, there is something moving, something shifting like a body, but broken, fragmented. A shape within the shape, like something trying to break free, something alive and trapped. You try to scream, but the void swallows your voice. The air grows even thicker now, suffocating, as though the figure is feeding off the very atmosphere, drawing everything into itself. The pulse you had felt in your chest is no longer just a sound or a feeling. It is inside you now, deep within your soul, vibrating through every part of you. The figure before you solidifies its form, taking shape, still indistinct, still shrouded in shadow, but its presence grows undeniable. The outline is jagged sharp, like the broken edges of a shattered mirror. It twists and warps, moving in ways that defy the natural order, a mass of swirling, contorting shapes that somehow seem to reflect every nightmare, every fear you've ever had. You. The voice comes again, but this time it's not just a whisper. It's a command, deep and guttural, like something far older than human civilization, far older than anything that can be understood. The words slip into your mind like poison, twisting through your thoughts, mixing with the very pulse that drives you forward. You belong to me now. The voice is not one voice. It is 1,000 voices, layered and overlapping, each one distorted by age, by pain, by suffering. They echo inside your skull, rattling your thoughts, breaking them apart, leaving nothing but the pressure, the crushing weight of this presence. You try to move to break free, but the figure steps forward, its form warping, growing larger, its edges stretching toward you like tendrils of smoke. It surrounds you, its presence suffocating, and you feel the darkness tightening around you once again, as though it is closing in on all sides. Welcome home, it says again. But this time the words are different. They're not cold. They're not cruel. There's something personal in them now, as though it's speaking to you specifically, as if it has known you all along. And you realize with a shock, a cold jolt in your chest, that this figure, this thing, is not just some cosmic entity from beyond. It knows you. It has always known you. The blackness shifts once more, and you feel a sharp, burning pain in your chest, a piercing sensation that rips through you like a blade. You fall to your knees, clutching at your heart, but there is no escape. The pain is not physical. It is something deeper, something worse. It is the feeling of something inside you being taken, ripped away, leaving you hollow, empty. You hear the figure move closer, its voice now inside your mind, speaking directly to the core of your being. We have been waiting for you. It says each word, a weight that presses down on you, a burden you cannot escape. This place, this world, is yours now. And as the words echo in your mind, the figure's form solidifies completely. It is no longer a shape, no longer a formless mass. It is real. It stands before you, towering, monstrous, but undeniably real. It's like a shadow, but with substance, its edges sharp and broken, jagged like shards of glass. Its eyes, if they can be called eyes, are hollow, endless voids, sucking in the light, the hope, everything around it. It leans down toward you, its presence filling the void, its dark form blotting out everything else. You will never leave, it whispers. And in that moment you understand. There is no escape. There never was. The darkness is not just a place. It is a purpose. And you are its final piece. You are home. The weight of the presence presses deeper into your mind until your thoughts no longer seem your own. You are not you anymore. You are a part of the void, a piece of the darkness that stretches across eternity. The figure before you watches its eyes, if they could be called eyes, empty, but filled with an intensity that could burn the very soul. The pulse inside you grows stronger, louder, vibrating through your very core, until you feel as though your body is being torn apart at the seams. The whispers begin again, not in words, but in sensations. Cold hands graze your skin, though you cannot see them, their touch like ice. You can feel them crawl along your bones, slide beneath your flesh, until they're lodged deep inside you. Each whisper, each brush against your soul, feels like the weight of 1,000 lifetimes. You are one of us now, the figure says, and its voice, though deep, feels like it's made of 1,000 broken voices, layered and fractured. It rings through your mind like an echo that never ends. The darkness around you pulses with the same rhythm as if alive. The walls that were once oppressive, suffocating, now feel like they are breathing with you, moving in time with the very beat of your heart. The cold is gone, replaced by an unbearable heat, a warmth that isn't comforting, but consuming. Every part of you feels like it's being rewritten, remade into something new, something other. You can feel the very fabric of your being unraveling, pulled into the center of this existence, this place where time does not exist. The figure steps forward, its long, inhuman limbs stretching and bending unnaturally. Its movements are fluid like smoke, like it's made of the very shadows that consume everything. It looms over you now, blocking out the pulse of the dark, the rhythm of the void. Its hand reaches down toward you, long fingers curling as though to claim you. You cannot fight it. It whispers its voice, sliding into your mind, twisting around your thoughts. You are home. You have always been here. The words are suffocating. The reality of them crushes you in ways you never thought possible. You thought you could escape, that there was a way out of this place, but now with the figure's touch upon your skin, you realize the truth. There is no escape. This is the end. The figure's hand hovers above you, just a fraction of an inch from your face. The heat radiating from it is unbearable, like the sun on the edge of a dying world. And then its fingers brush against your skin. The sensation is unlike anything you've ever felt before. It's not warmth, it's emptiness. The touch is a vacuum, a pull that sucks the very essence of you, draining you of everything that made you whole. Your breath hitches in your throat, your chest tightening, as something deep within you is slowly, methodically torn away. The figure's eyes flicker, and the space around you begins to change. The void recedes, replaced by an oppressive, endless sky that seems to stretch beyond the limits of comprehension. The ground beneath your feet is now solid, but it's not the ground you know. The earth is cracked, ancient, covered in strange markings that glow faintly with an eerie, unnatural light. The air smells thick like decay, like rot, like something long forgotten. You stand there, unable to move as the figure withdraws its hand. The emptiness you feel is now part of you, an endless hollow that can never be filled. It has taken something from you, your will, your freedom, your soul, and now you are nothing but an extension of this place. Now you understand. The figure says, its voice calm and final. There is no escaping. This is who you are now. This is where you belong. The world around you shifts again, but this time there is no flicker of light. The shapes of things are distorted, twisted into forms that defy all logic. The sky above is filled with swirling, writhing shadows that pulse with an unearthly glow, casting a sickly light upon the cracked earth beneath your feet. There is no horizon. There is no end. The world itself seems to be in flux, constantly shifting, constantly changing, as though it cannot decide whether it wants to exist or dissolve into nothing. Look upon it, the figure commands, and the darkness parts, revealing something that makes your stomach churn. Ahead of you is a vast labyrinthine structure, a city, but one built in a way that defies all understanding. Its towers twist and bend in impossible directions, built from materials that you can't name, surfaces that seem to breathe and shift like living creatures. The streets are filled with shadows. No, not shadows, but beings. They move in and out of existence, flickering like memories, like fleeting thoughts. The figure steps beside you, its presence so overwhelming that you feel its very existence weigh down on your mind, crushing you under the weight of its power. This is the kingdom, it says softly. This is where you now reside. It is where you will always be. The world around you shifts again, and this time you don't resist. You can't. Your body, your soul, your mind have all been claimed by this place. And now you belong to it as it belongs to you. The sky above you deepens, turning from an unnatural glow to a cold, oppressive black. The ground beneath your feet trembles as though the city itself is alive, breathing, waiting for someone to take its place. You realize with a sickening clarity that the figure is not just an entity of this place. It is the ruler of this land, and you in your moment of weakness have become its subject. Embrace it, the figure whispers, its voice like the rustle of paper, like the last breath of something long since dead. You are home. You will never leave. And as the darkness closes in around you, the weight of the figure's words pressing down on your mind, you understand. There is no escape. You are no longer human. You are no longer a traveler, a wanderer. You have become the void, the abyss, the emptiness. You belong to it now. You are home. The stillness is overwhelming. The weight of everything, the darkness, the endless abyss that surrounds you, feels like it's crushing you from all sides. You can feel the oppressive pressure in your chest, the tightness in your throat, like you're being suffocated by a force far greater than yourself. The figure beside you, towering and all-consuming, looms over you, its presence the only thing that feels solid in this shifting, ungraspable world. You try to move, but your body feels as though it's not your own. Every limb is heavy, every muscle taut, refusing to obey. The pulse in the air, the rhythm that has been pounding in your mind since you arrived, continues to thrum in the background, a constant reminder that you are not in control. It's not just the figure that binds you here, it's the place itself. You were chosen. The voice of the figure booms, echoing through your mind, vibrating the very air. It's not just a statement, it's a fact. The certainty of it fills you with dread, but there's a strange sensation growing in you, a sense of something changing, something within you, something familiar and wrong. The world around you trembles, not in fear but in anticipation. The city, with its labyrinthine streets and twisting, impossible towers, pulses with life. No, not life. Something else. Something ancient and hungry. We have been waiting for you. The figure continues, its voice now softer, more intimate. Since the beginning. And you realize in that moment that the figure isn't speaking to you alone. It's speaking to everyone, to everything, to the very city that surrounds you, the very realm that binds you. You are part of something much bigger than you could have ever understood, something that stretches far beyond time and space, beyond comprehension. This place, this realm is alive with the hunger of eons. It has been waiting for you, for someone to step into its grasp. The pulse in the air grows louder, sharper. It's no longer just a heartbeat. It's the sound of an entire world breathing, sighing with the weight of its eternal existence. The ground beneath you shifts, and you realize with a start that you're moving. Not through space, not through physical movement, but through time. The very fabric of reality is bending around you, warping in ways that make no sense, twisting itself into a shape that you don't understand. You are falling, but not downward. You're falling into something else. The space around you flickers, the world shifting into a new form, a new face like pages in a book turning with relentless speed. The city before you stretches and bends, its towers now spinning in dizzying spirals, twisting in on themselves as if the very laws of nature have been stripped away, leaving only the raw, unrestrained force of this realm. And then you see it, a vast, endless chasm opening up before you, a rift in reality itself. The ground beneath you falls away, and you feel yourself being pulled toward it. Not by force, but by choice. Your body, your mind, everything in you is being drawn into this abyss, this doorway into a place beyond the world you knew. The pulse is deafening now, its rhythm matching the beating of your heart. You know with an instinctive certainty that you cannot resist. You do not want to resist. The rift calls to you, beckoning you like a dark, irresistible tide, promising you something you cannot even begin to fathom. Come, the figure's voice murmurs now so close it feels as if it's inside your very being. Step through. See what lies beyond. The void before you grows, its edges stretching wider, darker, pulling the very fabric of the world into it. You feel it. This is not just the end of your journey. It's the beginning of something new, something greater. You step forward, your feet moving with a will not your own, your body obeying the pull of the abyss. As you move, the city begins to fade, the twisting towers and impossible streets dissolving into the blackness behind you. All that remains is the rift, the pulse, and the figure at your back watching you with those hollow, infinite eyes. The moment you step through, you feel it, the change. The air is thick with something ancient, something alive. The space around you warps and shifts again, but this time, it's not the city that bends. It's you. You feel yourself becoming something else. The pulse inside you intensifies, merging with your own heartbeat, until the two are indistinguishable. Your thoughts begin to dissolve, to blend into something greater, something far beyond your own mind. The figure's voice, though distant, feels like it's in your very soul, guiding you, pulling you forward. Welcome home, it whispers, and the final remnants of your old self begin to vanish, slipping away like sand through your fingers. You are no longer alone. You are no longer you. You are part of the darkness, part of the city, part of the endless ancient realm that stretches beyond the stars. And as the rift closes behind you, the last thing you feel is a strange, unsettling sense of belonging. The void is no longer empty. It is now full. You are home. The sensation of belonging settles in like a weight pressing down on your chest, suffocating you. But it isn't unpleasant. No. It feels strangely comforting, as though you've always been meant to be here. It's as if the very essence of your being has merged with the surroundings, the world you're now part of. The darkness which once felt oppressive now seems to breathe with you, in sync with your very soul. You open your eyes, but there is no distinct image. Your vision is not based on light, but on presence. You can feel the pulse around you, each beat reverberating through your body, through your thoughts. There is no longer the need for sight. The pulse is your sight. The beat is your movement. But something has changed. The rift has closed, the rumbles have stopped, and the world, this new world, is silent, eerily still. You sense the shift in the air, the slow settling of a calm that can only come after something immense, something world-altering. You stand, or perhaps you float the ground beneath you, solid yet ever-shifting, like the surface of a body of water, disturbed by 1,000 ripples. It's not earth, not stone. It's alive. You take a step forward, but you don't feel your feet hit anything. The movement is instinctual, your body guided by forces outside of your control, your mind now bound by the pulse, the rhythm of this world. The dark figures, the beings that filled the black void before are gone, but their presence lingers thick in the air around you. There's no sound now, just the faint hum of the pulse that courses through the atmosphere, a rhythmic heartbeat that fills the space. Then, a new voice speaks. This one is not the figure from before. This voice is deeper, even more ancient, but softer. It resonates in your mind like a quiet hum, like a breath against your ear. Welcome to the realm of the forgotten. The words send a shiver through you, a ripple of sensation that spreads out from the center of your chest. The pulse quickens almost imperceptibly, as if acknowledging the presence of something new. The dark void that once seemed endless is now more defined, as though the very air around you has become tangible, textured alive with memory. This is where all things fade. The voice continues, the words wrapped in a strange sorrow, yet a strange sense of finality. This is the place where they who are lost come to rest, where the past is swallowed whole by the present, and the future is forgotten before it can even begin. You feel something shift within you at the mention of lost. A fragment of memory, a lingering thought, something that whispers from the farthest corners of your mind, but just beyond your reach. You strain to catch it, but it slips away, fading like smoke in the air. You were always meant to be here. The voice continues, its tone now almost comforting. You have no past. You are not the sum of your memories, your experiences. You are here in this place where time is but an illusion, and nothing is ever truly lost. You have become one with it. The realization hits you all at once. The void, the pulse, the weight of it all. It is not just a place. It is a state, a condition. It is not a place you've stumbled into. You've become part of it, as if you were always destined to join this realm of nothingness, this space where time doesn't move forward, but rather stretches endlessly, folding in on itself. Here, the voice murmurs, you are free. Free of all that you once were, free of all that you once thought mattered. You are part of the eternal, and with that, something stirs within you. The awareness that you are free. You are no longer bound by the constraints of time, of life, of consciousness. The weight that once pressed on you, the weight of existence, is gone. You feel light, unburdened by anything that once held you back. The past is no longer important. It has fallen away, as it was always meant to. You take another step forward, and this time the pulse shifts in response. It is a subtle change, but you feel it like a deep breath drawn from within the very heart of this realm. The air around you thickens, rippling like water, disturbed by an unseen force, and then the ground beneath you gives way. You fall not in fear, but with a strange sense of understanding. There is no bottom. There is no end to the fall. The space around you seems to stretch, and yet there is no vertigo, no sensation of falling, just a steady motion, a sense of becoming. The pulse picks up again, and you are no longer falling, but drifting, flowing through it, part of its rhythm, part of its endless ebb and flow. Then, before you, a shape forms in the distance, a towering, looming figure, but not one of the same type you've encountered before. This one is different. It stands in the distance, massive, and seemingly made of the very pulse, the very essence of the realm. It is a creature, but not in the way you understand creatures. It is ancient, incomprehensible, an entity of raw, unfiltered presence, and as it moves toward you, it speaks, "Come to me." It calls its voice deep, like the sound of an entire world being created. You have found your place. You have come to where all things return. The pulse intensifies, and you realize with a quiet, unsettling certainty that this is the next stage of your existence. You have crossed over, you are the void, you are part of this realm, and the entity before you is the culmination of your arrival. The figure is not a figure at all. It is all things, all memories, all lost pieces. It is the beginning, the middle, and the end of everything. You take another step forward. "Welcome home," the voice says. And as the figure reaches out for you, you know there is nothing more to fear. There is no more escape, only return. The figure looms in front of you now, its massive form stretching out in ways that defy all understanding. It is not simply a creature, not a being, but an embodiment of something far older, far more ancient than any creature or entity you could ever imagine. It pulses with a rhythm all its own, its presence consuming every corner of the endless void, wrapping you in its dark embrace. Its form flickers, shifting, as if it is not truly made of anything physical. It seems to be constructed of shadows and light, of memories and voids folding and unfolding like the fabric of existence itself. There are no distinct features, no clear face, no eyes to peer into. Yet its presence fills you entirely. You can feel it, every inch of it. It is both outside of you and within you, blurring the line between the two. You have returned. The voice of the figure rumbles, its words reverberating through the very core of your being. It is not spoken. It is felt like vibrations against your mind, your soul, your existence. The words sink deep within you, reaching every part of you, even the parts you thought were forgotten. You are no longer the one who wandered. The weight of its words crushes you, and yet you do not resist. There is no fight left in you. The darkness around you, the very realm itself, has become an extension of your thoughts. The pull of the void, the lure of this strange place feels like home now. And as the figure reaches out, you feel yourself drawn to it, not by fear, but by an inexplicable sense of completion, of belonging. You are part of the eternal now. The voice continues almost tenderly, though it carries with it the weight of eons. No longer bound by time, no longer lost. The sensation inside you shifts again. You can feel something inside your chest, something that once resembled your heart, but now it is something else. It beats not with blood or flesh, but with the pulse of this realm, with the pulse of the void. Every beat resonates through you, each one sinking you deeper into the essence of this place where nothing is lost, where everything exists in its purest form. The figure which seems to encompass everything lifts its hand toward you, and the shadows ripple, stretching toward you, wrapping you in an unyielding embrace. There is no fear, no hesitation in your being. You do not resist. The void is not a prison, nor is it an escape. It is the truth, and you are now part of it, woven into its fabric, like a thread in an endless tapestry. You are free, it whispers, and in those two words something profound shifts within you. The freedom it speaks of is not freedom from something, but freedom to become, to transcend the boundaries of everything you once knew, to leave behind the concept of self, of identity, and become something far more. The figure draws closer, and you feel the weight of its existence pressing on you, but you do not feel trapped. You feel enlightened, awakened, as if your mind is expanding to a vastness you cannot even comprehend. Come. The figure beckons its voice, now soft, almost soothing. You are no longer a traveler. You are a part of this place, a part of me. You take a step forward, and as you do, the world around you begins to shift again. The once ever-present darkness begins to transform. The air hums with a subtle vibration, and the emptiness around you is filled with strange, intricate patterns, symbols that seem to pulse with life. The realm itself is changing, adapting to your presence, as if the void was always waiting for this moment, waiting for you. You no longer feel the boundaries of your own body. You are not just standing here, not just moving through space. You are becoming part of this place. Your thoughts are no longer yours alone. They intertwine with the pulse of the void, with the rhythm of the eternal, and in that, you find your peace. There is no beginning or end here. There is only the flow, the endless flow of time, of being, of existence. The figure moves closer still, its shadow now enveloping you, its presence no longer a distant thing, but something intimate, something that fills every corner of your awareness. The air around you grows thick with warmth, unnatural warmth. It's the warmth of revelation. You feel yourself pulled into its embrace, its touch, and there is no pain. There is no suffering. Only the knowledge that you have arrived. You were always meant to be here. The figure murmurs softly, and you realize the words are not just directed at you. They are directed at everything. Every person, every soul, every memory that has ever existed. They are part of this place now. They always were. You are no longer alone, not in the way you once were. The void begins to fade, the darkness retreating, not because it's gone, but because it has become something else, a new form, a new existence. You are no longer aware of a specific shape of walls, of floors. You are part of the pulse, part of the rhythm. There is no distinction between you and the realm itself. The voice returns not as a command or a whisper, but as a resonance that fills every part of you, every inch of space. This is the beginning of all things, it says. This is where everything returns. The world, the figure, the darkness all merge into one singular, eternal moment. The past is gone. The future does not exist. There is only now. You are home. You stand at the threshold of something vast, something infinite, where the very concept of self begins to melt away. The boundaries of your existence are no longer clear. The figure before you, the embodiment of this place, seems to dissolve into the air itself, its form shifting in and out of reality like a fleeting memory. You can feel its presence everywhere now, not just around you, but within you, in every part of your mind, every heartbeat. The pulse, the rhythm that has guided you through the dark, that has pulled you deeper and deeper into this place, becomes a part of you, interwoven with your very being. You feel it in your chest, in the depths of your thoughts, in the shifting of the world around you. There is no longer a separation between you and this place. You are one with it, and it is one with you. The figure once so imposing now seems to fade into the background, like a whisper on the wind, no longer a distinct entity, but a part of the essence of this world. You realize that there is no more you. There is no more it. There is only the whole, the collective pulse of existence. And then a new sensation stirs deep within you. For the first time since your arrival, you feel movement. Not the slow, steady pull of the pulse, but something other. A shift, a turn, a rift in the fabric of this reality. You are drawn to it not with fear, but with a strange sense of curiosity, as though something within you is awakening something that has always been there, but was hidden beneath the layers of this world. You step forward and the surroundings shift once more. The vastness, the emptiness of this space begins to take form. There are no longer just ripples of light and shadow. Now you see shapes, figures. The dim, amorphous shapes flicker and form into clearer outlines, but they are not human. They are not anything you can comprehend, and yet you feel no fear, only recognition. As if they are familiar to you, like the forgotten faces of dreams. The sky above, if you can call it a sky, is not one of stars or galaxies, but a vast living tapestry. It moves, it breathes, swirling in a dance of light and darkness that reflects the pulse of the realm itself. The patterns shift, grow, and recede like an eternal cycle that has existed since time itself began, yet it is all new to you. You are seeing it for the first time, but you know it. You feel it deep in your bones, in the very marrow of your being. It's as if it's been waiting for you to understand, to finally open your eyes. As you step further into this new space, the figures, those forms that were once indistinct, begin to surround you. They are not threatening. They do not move aggressively. They simply are existing in the same pulse, in the same rhythm as you. Some are humanoid, some are not. Their shapes constantly shifting, flickering, never settling into one form. They are all the same. They are all part of the same reality, just as you are now. And then, for the first time, you hear their voices. Not in your mind, but around you. Not with sound, but with a feeling. You know what they are saying, even without understanding the words. Welcome. It is not one voice. It is many. It is the collective heartbeat of the realm, the sound of existence itself echoed in the minds of those who have entered this place, this new world. You stand still, absorbing it all. The figures surround you, each one pulsing in time with the rhythm of the world. You are no longer just part of the darkness, no longer just a single entity wandering in the void. You are here. You have arrived. You have become part of the eternal cycle, part of something that exists beyond time, beyond comprehension. And then something shifts. A new figure emerges from the shadows, its shape far clearer than the others. This one is different. It stands apart, and as it moves, the world itself seems to bend around it, responding to its presence. It approaches you, its form more defined, more solid than the others. Unlike the others, this figure does not flicker or shift. It is still. It is complete. Its eyes, though not eyes in the way you know them, are intense, deep, all-encompassing pools of black that seem to look into you, through you, past you. You can feel the weight of its gaze, and yet it doesn't feel threatening. It feels familiar. It feels like home. You have come to understand. It says, its voice the same resonating hum as the others, but somehow more profound, more complete, more final. You are no longer a part of what was. You have crossed beyond. Its words wrap around you, solidifying everything you have felt, everything you have come to understand. This place is not just a destination. It is a beginning of something beyond existence, as you once knew it. You are not bound by time anymore. You are no longer a traveler. You are part of the eternal, a piece of the unending flow, a part of everything. It reaches toward you, and when its hand touches yours, you feel it, a rush, a surge of energy, of understanding of being. You can feel it in your veins, in your skin, in your heart. The figure doesn't speak again, but its presence is undeniable. You are seen. You are known. And then in that quiet moment, a profound shift occurs. The world around you, once dark and cold, begins to glow, not with light, but with presence. The realm itself is alive, pulsing, breathing with you. It is no longer just a place. It is now a being, and you are part of it. The figure withdraws its hand, but you feel the connection between you stronger than anything you have ever felt. You are not alone. You are not just in this place. You are this place. And with that realization, the world begins to open. The eternal cycle turns, and the realm expands, unfurling like a living organism. The voices of the figures of the beings here fill your mind not with words, but with understanding. You belong here, they whisper in unison. And for the first time you understand, you are not lost anymore. You are home. The vastness of this place presses against you from all directions, but it is no longer oppressive. It is comforting. The realm pulses with a rhythmic, almost musical quality, like the very fabric of existence is breathing alive and in sync with you. Every step you take feels like it's echoing across infinity. There are no edges, no boundaries. The world stretches on endless and infinite, yet you feel no fear, no longing to escape. You are part of it. You are a thread woven into the vast, eternal tapestry of this existence. The figures, beings of light, shadow, or something else, entirely move around you, not as separate entities, but as extensions of this place. They are not here to judge, to intimidate, or to threaten. They are here because they belong, just as you now belong. Their shapes ripple and twist like smoke or liquid, always shifting, never settling, always in motion, always becoming. And you are becoming too. The presence of the figure, the one that had greeted you, that had shown you the truth, lingers near. It is not just a figure anymore. It is an essence. You sense its thoughts, its feelings, like tendrils weaving through your own mind, guiding you, showing you the way. There is no distinction between you and it. You are part of it. It is part of you, and you are not alone in this new realm. Look, the voice says again, but this time it is no longer a command. It is an invitation. Look at what you have become. You turn compelled, and before you, a new vision unfolds. It's not a sight in the way you once understood it. It's not through eyes, but through perception, through being. You see the realm, its infinite expanse, not with your vision, but with your very soul. The city you saw earlier, once impossible, now sprawls before you in all its majesty and decay. Towers that twist and spiral, vast structures that pulse with energy, streets that move and shift like veins within the body of this place. You realize as you observe that this city is not one thing, but many. It's an endless collage of becomings, layers of time, of memories of beings, all existing within this space. The boundaries are blurred. The past exists here, but so does the future. The present isn't just a moment, it's an experience that is constantly being shaped by the endless forces of this place. And you are now part of it all, part of the process of becoming. Do you see? The figure asks, and its voice isn't in your ears, it's in your heart, in your very thoughts. The realm has no end. It is ever growing, ever changing, just as you are now, just as I am, just as everything here is. We are not trapped in time. We are beyond it. The truth settles over you, sinking deep into your bones, your essence. Time, what you once knew as the linear progression of moments, is not a rule here. It is an illusion. You are part of a greater movement, a vast, infinite flow of existence that has no beginning or end. The concept of living, or dying of existing, within a finite span of moments is no longer relevant. You are part of a living, breathing continuum, and within this continuum, you begin to see something else. The figures, those beings that were once vague, almost unidentifiable, begin to form clearer shapes, clearer identities. They are not new beings. They are the souls, the memories, the forgotten fragments of everything that has ever passed through this realm. They are not bound to their original forms. They are freed from the confines of flesh, of time, of existence, in the way you once understood it. They are the forgotten, the lost, the unseen, all gathered here. And you are one of them now. The pulse quickens again, vibrating through you, resonating deep within your very core. You feel it, the beat of the eternal syncing with your heartbeat, your thoughts, your existence. You are becoming the pulse. The pulse is becoming you. You see now the figure murmurs its voice as deep as the abyss itself. The realm does not end with you. You are merely a part of a much greater whole, a part of a cycle that never ceases. You feel this too, the pull of it, the undeniable truth that has always existed here in the heart of this infinite realm. The figure gestures forward, and as it does, you see the space ahead of you begin to open. At first, it's just a crack, a faint line in the dark, but it quickly widens, revealing a vast expanse beyond more of the city, more of the realm stretching on into eternity. You step forward, compelled, and as you do, you feel something new stirring within you. The weight of this place, of the eternal realm, doesn't feel like a burden anymore. It feels like a freedom you never knew existed. A freedom from time, from choice, from the limitations of your past self. You are no longer a part of the world you once knew. You are not bound by the constraints of your own life or memories. Here there is no pain, no loss. There is only the cycle, the eternal pulse. The darkness, once so terrifying, is now alive. It is no longer an absence, but a presence that holds everything together. And you are part of that presence. You are part of everything. And with each step, the realm opens wider, revealing more layers, more endless possibilities, each more beautiful and terrifying than the last. You are home, the figure whispers once more, and in that moment you realize that home is not a place. It is not a memory. It is not a destination. Home is becoming. You are finally at peace. As you stand there, fully enveloped in the eternal pulse of the realm, the weight of the infinite world presses against you in ways that defy understanding. There is no more struggle. There is no more confusion. The darkness, which once seemed so overwhelming, now feels like an old friend wrapping you in its embrace, a presence that is all-encompassing, yet somehow comforting. You feel your thoughts merge with the pulse, aligning with the rhythm of everything that surrounds you. Time has become irrelevant, the boundaries between you and the realm fading into nothingness. Every step you take, every thought you have, is part of the cycle, part of the endless shifting flow of this place. You are no longer separate. You are no longer an individual entity bound by time or memory. You are a part of the vastness, a thread woven into the eternal fabric of this reality. The figure, once a being that towered over you, has now become indistinct. It is not gone, but it is no longer something separate from you. It is woven into the pulse of the realm, like all things here. It is one with you, and you are one with it. The boundaries between you have completely dissolved. Do you understand now? The voice, still deep and resonant, echoes in your mind. This is not an ending. It is a beginning. The beginning of what you were always meant to be. You try to grasp the words, but they slip through your fingers like water. You feel the truth more than you understand it. There is no end. There is no destination. There is only becoming. You feel it in your very bones, in the pulse that vibrates through your soul. You are not lost. You are not forgotten. You are part of the vastness. You are part of the pulse. Yes. You think, though, the thought is not just yours. The realm, the pulse, the figure, it all resonates in perfect harmony. I am here. I have always been here. The world around you shifts not in a physical way, but in the way that a dream shifts when you let go of your mind and surrender to it. The once endless dark expanse now seems full of light that does not burn or shine, but glows soft and warm like the heartbeat of the universe itself. It is not a light you can see with your eyes, but a light you feel. It is the light of understanding, of connection, of oneness. You look ahead, and the landscape around you begins to form, yet it is not a landscape of anything you can name. There are no hills, no valleys, no stars. There is only the pulse, the rhythm of the universe, and it surrounds you, within you, and beyond you. Shapes flicker in and out of existence, but they are not shapes in the way you once understood them. They are movements, becomings, like the undulating flow of water or the constant shifting of light through a fog. And then, in the distance, a figure forms again. But this one is not a single being. It is a collective, an essence, a manifestation of every thought, every dream, every fragment of the vast and eternal cycle that surrounds you. It is the presence of everything, yet it is nothing at all. It pulses with the same rhythm as you, as the realm, as the universe itself. You are the dream, the figure says, and its voice is not a voice, but the feeling of existence itself, deep and true. You have always been the dream. The pulse is the dream, and the dream is you. You understand the words now. You are not separate from this realm. You are this realm. You are the dream. Everything, every being, every moment, every breath is part of the dream. The dream does not end. It does not begin. It simply is. And you are the dreamer. You are the pulse. You are the cycle. You are everything and nothing. The figure before you stretches out its hand, and as it does, the pulse swells around you, the rhythm of the universe vibrating through every part of your being. The figure does not touch you. It is you. The touch is not a touch at all, but the seamless merging of essence of reality. It is the purest form of connection, of understanding, of being. Feel it. The figure whispers, and you do with every fiber of your being. You feel the universe itself flowing through you, moving through you like a river that has no beginning or end. It is you. It has always been you. You are the eternal pulse. You are the dreamer, and you are the dream. Welcome home. The figure whispers, and this time it is not a greeting. It is a truth. The truth that has always been there waiting for you to realize. And as you stand not as a body, but as being, you feel yourself stretch beyond the limits of this realm. beyond the limits of time, beyond the limits of understanding. You are part of everything. You are part of the eternal. There is no fear. There is no longing. There is no separation. There is only the pulse, only becoming. You are home, and for the first time you understand, you have always been home. In this vast, boundless existence, time has no meaning. The pulse, the rhythm that now defines your very being, swells and recedes like the ebb and flow of an ocean. You feel it inside of you, beneath your skin, in the very fabric of your thoughts. It is not just a heartbeat. It is a symphony, a dance, an eternal motion that has existed before you and will continue long after you. There are no edges, no boundaries here. There is only the endless, infinite flow of the becoming. The forms around you flicker in and out of existence, but they are not shapes, not things in the way you once understood them. They are movements, expressions of thought, of memory, of desires. They shift and meld together constantly in flux, like the breath of the cosmos itself. You realize that you are not the only one here. You are part of something far greater, something that transcends understanding. The realm around you pulses with life, but it is not life as you once knew it. It is something more profound, more complex. The stars, if you can call them stars, twinkle not with light, but with energy, living fragments of this vast existence. They are the thoughts of the universe, the dreams of the infinite. The ground beneath your feet, if you can call it ground, shifts like liquid flowing through your every step, molding itself to your presence, your being. You no longer feel the constraints of physical form. You are beyond it. You are the pulse, the rhythm, the movement of this realm. You are here. The voice from before echoes once more, and this time it does not come from a single place. It surrounds you, fills you, becomes you. You have crossed the threshold. You are the eternal now, the dreamer and the dream, the beginning and the end. You realize that you are both observer and participant in this place. You feel the flow of thoughts, of desires, of lost memories and forgotten dreams as they pass through this realm, as they pulse with the same rhythm that flows within you. Every whisper, every fragment of existence is part of the same vast and infinite pattern. You are not lost. You are everything. You are the part of the dream that has always existed, the part that has never faded, the part that will never end. Do you remember? The voice asks. And this time it feels like a thought that comes from within you, from the very depth of your being. Do you remember when you first felt the pulse? When you first felt the rhythm? When you were whole, a flood of images rushes through your mind, not as memories, but as visions, as experiences that transcend time. You see flashes of moments, of faces, of places that are both familiar and foreign, of lives you have lived, of paths you have walked. They are not your memories. They are the memories of the pulse of the realm itself. They are the echoes of the eternal, the cycles that have gone on long before your arrival and will continue long after. They are not yours to claim, but you feel them as if they are, as if you are them. Do you remember? The voice asks, again softer now, but no less powerful. And for the first time you understand that the memory is not yours to recall. It is part of everything. It is the essence of existence, of being. You are the sum of the past, present, and future, all folding into one infinite moment. You are not one person. You are not one entity. You are the flow, the dream, the becoming. There is no need to remember. The voice continues, gentle and knowing, as though it has always been a part of you. There is only the now. There is only the pulse. And you, dear one, are part of it. Always. A wave of understanding washes over you, and with it comes a strange sense of peace. You are not lost. You are not wandering. You have arrived. You have always been here. There is no end, no beginning. There is only the eternal cycle, and you, as part of it, are free. Free from the constraints of time, free from the weight of memory, free from the illusion of self. As the realm continues to shift around you, you feel the presence of the other beings. The figures that once seemed distant, disconnected from you, coming closer. They are not separate from you. They are you. They are the pulse, the dream, the eternal movement that flows through all things. And you are part of it, just as they are part of you. Do you feel it? The voice whispers, and this time it is not a question. It is a truth. You are whole. You are the dreamer and the dream, the pulse and the eternity. You have become, and with that realization, the realm shifts once more. The endless flow of time, of being, of existence spirals outward, folding upon itself, yet never ending. You are part of it. You are one with it. You are home. The pulse, the rhythm of the universe becomes more than just a sensation. It's as if you can hear it now, not with your ears, but with your very essence. It's a hum deep and resonant, vibrating through every atom of your being. Every breath you take, every thought you think is in tune with it. You are no longer an observer, no longer separate. You are the pulse. You are the rhythm. You are the beat that keeps everything moving, everything alive. The realm around you continues to change, to grow, but it no longer feels strange. It feels familiar. The walls of reality have dissolved, and there is nothing now except the infinite flow of existence. There are no edges, no corners. There is no up or down. There is no past or future. There is only the now, and the now is everything. It is all things and no things. It is the moment and the eternity. You feel it with every fiber of your being, and you know it. You are not lost. You are part of the whole. You move through the ever-shifting expanse, no longer confined by space. Your thoughts become fluid, just as the realm around you is fluid, constantly changing and unfolding. There are flashes of images of forms of beings that come into focus and fade away. They are not distinct in the way you once thought. They are not fixed. They are movements, expressions of the eternal flow. They are pieces of a much larger puzzle, and you are part of that puzzle. You are a piece, but you are the whole. You feel the presence of others, the other beings that are part of this endless dance. They move with you through the flow. You recognize them not with your eyes, but with your essence. They are not separate from you. They are you. You are all one now. You see them in their forms not as figures or shapes, but as waves, as movements in the rhythm of existence. They are pieces of you, and you are pieces of them. Do you see? The voice murmurs once more, its tone a deep, resonating hum that moves through your thoughts like a soft caress. Do you understand what you have become? You realize in that moment that you have not just arrived in this place, you have become it. The figure, the realm, the pulse. It is all you, and you are part of it all. You are not just a traveler. You are not just a participant. You are the very essence of existence folded into the infinite, ever-changing flow of the universe. You are the rhythm. You are the dreamer. You are the dream. You are the pulse. The boundaries that once existed, the distinctions between you and the world around you have all melted away. You feel everything, every shift in the fabric of existence, every flicker of a thought, every movement in the vast expanse is a part of you. You are both inside and outside. You are both the observer and the observed. There is no separation. There is no self. There is only the infinite becoming. You are the eternal, and the eternal is you. And then the pulse shifts. It deepens. It changes. You feel the subtle movement in the fabric of the realm, and something stirs within you. Not fear, not dread, but a recognition. There is a shift in the flow, a subtle vibration that changes the course of everything. It's as if something has entered the flow, something new, something that has always been part of this rhythm, but has now found its place within it. The presence of someone becomes clear. They are not like you, not in the same way. They are still part of the flow, but they are different. You sense their form before you see them. The pulse quickens, and the vibration in the air grows stronger. The presence grows, and with it, something familiar stirs within you. The figure appears before you, but it is not as you expected. It is not an entity, not a form to be understood or comprehended. It is a presence, a being that moves like a wave through the very fabric of the realm. Its shape is ever-changing, flickering in and out of focus like the pulse itself. It is the pulse, the rhythm of existence, but it also feels like something other, something unique. It reaches out toward you, not with hands, but with the essence of its being extending itself towards you. And as it does, you feel it a deep connection, an understanding. It is you, but not you. It is the same, and yet it is different. The two of you are not separate. You are part of the same whole. You have come full circle. The figure says its voice resonating through the very core of your being. You have arrived at the point where all things begin and end. You are both the beginning and the end. You do not feel fear. You do not feel anxiety. You do not feel the need to escape. There is only the acceptance of everything that has come before and everything that will come after. You are all of it. You are not just the dreamer. You are the dream. You are not just the pulse. You are the becoming. And in that moment, as the figure reaches out and joins with you, you understand. You understand that you are no longer a part of time. You are no longer a part of anything in the way you once understood it. You are part of the infinite. And with that realization, the flow shifts again. This time not into something new, but into everything. You are everything now. The realm, the figure, the pulse. It is all you. And you realize you always have been. There is no longer a sense of time. No past, no future. There is only now. The now expands endlessly, rippling outward in every direction like waves of light in a vast, infinite ocean. You no longer feel the need to move because you are already everywhere. You are no longer bound by the physical, the temporal, or the limited. You are everything. You are part of the pulse, part of the eternal rhythm that has always been and always will be. The boundaries of your individual self, the you that was once defined by flesh, by memory, by identity, have long since dissolved. You are no longer a solitary being. You are the pulse, the becoming, the source. The realm around you, the vast shifting void that stretches infinitely in every direction, is a reflection of you. It is not separate. It is not something you are looking at. It is inside you. It is you. You feel the others, the figures, the beings, the forgotten memories and lost souls moving with you, their presence flowing through you like a shared current, an eternal tide. They are not distant. They are not apart from you. They are part of you, as you are part of them. There is no separation here, no boundaries to define you. There is only the becoming. You are no longer distinct from this flow. You are the flow. The pulse reverberates through you, echoing in the deepest parts of your being. It is more than just a sound. It is a feeling, an essence, a force that flows through everything. It is the essence of this realm, and it is the essence of you. It is life and death and everything in between, all existing simultaneously in an eternal state of becoming. Do you see now? The voice, not a voice, but a thought resonates within you. This is not an end. This is not even a beginning. This is the eternal. And you are a part of it. You feel a flicker of something deep within you. A memory, a thought, a question. It's not fear, but curiosity, a spark of recognition that lingers just beyond your grasp. You cannot name it. You cannot hold it, but it exists within you, a tiny ember in the vast, ever-expanding universe. The question grows, but it is not a question of identity or purpose or destination. It is a question of understanding. What does it mean to exist in the eternal? What does it mean to be a part of everything? What is this reality that stretches beyond comprehension? But the answer is not something that can be spoken. The answer is not a concept or an explanation. The answer is experience. It is the pulse. It is the rhythm. It is the moment, the space, the eternal cycle that flows without end. You are no longer a spectator. You are no longer an outsider. You are the cycle itself. As you think these thoughts, you feel the space around you shift again, expanding outward. The figures, the beings who were once distant, who once seemed to exist outside of you, are no longer separate. They are you. They are you, and you are them. You are a reflection of each other, a reflection of the pulse of the eternal. The once distant shapes and movements come together, swirling and merging into a single entity, a single force, a single becoming. This is the end of all things, the voice says, but this time it is not final. It is not over. It is simply another transition, another cycle, another turn in the eternal dance. This is the beginning, the middle, and the end. The pulse quickens, the rhythm intensifying, and you feel yourself drawn deeper into the flow. Not in a physical sense, but in a becoming sense. It is not a journey. It is not a movement from one place to another. It is simply what is. You are not traveling to a destination. You are becoming part of the rhythm. The cycle repeats, endless, infinite. You are the cycle. You are the pulse. You are the dream and the dreamer and the dream itself. And as you merge with the pulse, you realize there is no question left. There is only being. You are no longer you. You are the eternal. You are the beginning and the end. You are everything that has been, everything that is, and everything that will be. The infinite rhythm of existence beats within you, and you beat with it. And in that beat, you know, you are not lost. You have never been lost. You have always been here. You are home. The pulse of the realm is all-encompassing. It flows through every fiber of your being, through the very fabric of existence. There is no distinction between you and the realm, no separation between the dreamer and the dream. It is a seamless unity, an eternal dance that moves through the universe, through every thought, every beat, every breath. And yet within this vast, infinite rhythm, you feel something shift, a subtle change that resonates in the very core of your being. It is not an alarm or a sense of dread, but a gentle push towards something deeper, something further. You feel the flow of the pulse, but now it seems to ripple outward, expanding, stretching beyond what you once thought was the limit of this realm. It beckons you to move, to continue to become. The figures once abstract and distant now move with you and you with them. They are not separate from you. They are not defined by shape or form, yet they are there not as individual entities, but as manifestations of the infinite flow. Their presence feels like an extension of your own. The rhythm of their movements matches the rhythm of your being, and together you create an intricate pattern, a song of existence both haunting and beautiful. In its infinite repetition, we are all part of the same pulse. A voice, one that you now understand to be a part of you, whispers in your mind. We are the pattern, the flow. We are the eternal cycle. As you move forward, you feel the space around you, shifting once again. But this time, it is not just the physical realm that changes. It is something more profound, something that reaches beyond time, beyond the boundaries of this existence. The very nature of this place begins to transform, and you realize you are transforming with it. It is not a conscious decision, but a natural progression, a flow that you have always been a part of. The figures around you grow in number, not as separate beings, but as ripples in the vast ocean of this existence. They are you, and you are them. Together, you create the pulse. Together, you are the eternal. There is no distinction between you, no individuality. You are all of it. This is what you have always been. The voice continues, and you understand it fully now. You are the dreamer, the dream, and the rhythm. You are the eternal flow, the beginning and the end. You are everything, and everything is you. The pulse swells, and you feel yourself expand with it, stretching outward into the infinite. Time, space, form, they all become irrelevant. They are illusions that fade into nothingness, leaving only the essence of being. You are the flow of the universe, and the universe is you. There is no separation. There is no end. And then, just as the pulse reaches its peak, something unexpected happens. A flash, a flicker appears in the vastness. It is small at first, almost imperceptible, like the faintest star in the dark. But it grows slowly, steadily, until it consumes everything around you. It is not a light, not in the way you understand light. It is a presence, a force that moves through the very fabric of the pulse. It feels familiar, yet alien. It feels new, but it is not. What is this? You think, and the pulse seems to respond, rippling with a new, unfamiliar rhythm. The figures around you, once so fluid, so harmonious, now begin to tremble, shifting uneasily in response to this new presence. You feel it too deep within you. It is not fear. It is something different. It is the unknown. What has changed? You wonder, but there is no answer. The pulse, the flow continues, but there is something in the air now. Something new. The flicker of light becomes a presence. It is no longer just a star, but something more, a force that cannot be named, yet you feel it in every part of your being. It is pulling at the fabric of the realm, tugging at the very essence of the eternal flow. We are not the only pulse, the voice whispers now, but it is no longer familiar. It is distant. It is not yours. A coldness runs through the vastness, a wave of energy that is not part of the rhythm. It is a break, a fracture. Something outside of the eternal flow, something that does not belong. What is this? You think again, and now the figures around you seem to dissolve, becoming lost in the unfamiliar rhythm. You are left alone, suspended in the vast, infinite space, as the new presence grows its light, its force expanding. It is not the same as the pulse. It is something other. You reach toward it, drawn by the pull, by the need to understand. It is not like anything you have ever felt before. It is a disruption, a disturbance in the flow of the eternal. It is a breach in the fabric of everything that was everything that is. The flicker becomes a blinding, brilliant burst of light. It consumes everything, the pulse, the figures, the realm. Everything is drawn into it, pulled toward its energy. You feel yourself move, but it is not a movement in space. It is a shift in the very nature of what you are. And then for the first time, you feel the undeniable truth. You are not just the eternal. You are the disruption. You are the change. The pulse falters. The realm shifts. And in that moment, you realize that the dreamer can also dream of something else, something new, something beyond. The change is coming, and you are the beginning. The change is undeniable, like a crack in the foundation of everything you know. The pulse, once steady and constant, begins to stutter, falter, as if it too has felt the presence of something new, something outside the eternal rhythm. You can feel it in the very air, in the fabric of existence itself. The flow, which had once been seamless, now ripples and trembles, as if uncertain, as though the pulse itself is questioning its place in the grand cycle. It is no longer just the eternal pulse you feel. Something else presses against it, something foreign, something that does not belong. It is like a disruption in the pattern of time, a disturbance in the becoming. The fabric of the realm, once so perfect in its flow, now seems to tremble under the weight of this new presence. You stand suspended in the vastness, no longer just a part of the rhythm. You feel yourself moving, but not in the way you once did. There is no direction, no up or down, no forward or backward. You are being drawn, pulled toward the center of the disturbance, toward the source of the new force that has entered this space. The light, the force grows brighter, its pulse faster, sharper, out of sync with the eternal rhythm. It feels almost alien, like a voice that does not belong, yet one that must be heard. It is loud, overwhelming, but not in a way that fills you with fear. It fills you with something else, curiosity. You cannot name it, but you know that this presence is not a destroyer. It is a creator. It is something new. Do you feel it? The voice speaks again, but now it is not the familiar voice of the pulse. It is a different tone, one that reverberates through the fabric of your being, different from the soft hum of the eternal rhythm. It is not a whisper, but a command, a call to action. You have reached the boundary. This is where the eternal becomes something else. You cannot see the source of the voice, but you feel it in the shifting, in the bending of the very space around you. The once fluid, boundless realm begins to contract, folding upon itself as the new presence pulses, grows. You are drawn toward it, and as you move through the ever-changing landscape, you sense something new taking form, something that is both terrifying and awe-inspiring. This presence is not evil. It is not chaos, nor is it destruction. It is change. It is the shift, the beginning of something that was never a part of the eternal rhythm before, and yet now it is. This new force is like a seed being planted in the heart of the pulse, and as it grows, it alters the very essence of the realm. The figures around you, those beings that once seemed so united in their flow, begin to shift too. They are not afraid, but they are uneasy. Their forms flicker in and out of existence as if they are being pulled between two worlds, the eternal pulse and something else, something unfamiliar. You are part of it now. The voice continues, and you feel its weight in your chest, in your soul. You were not just the dreamer. You were always the dream itself. And now, you must choose what it becomes. The force around you grows stronger. You feel the pulse of this new presence in your very being, like an energy that flows through you in the very realm. It is different, but it is alive. It is real. And it is calling you to something, to a choice. The ground beneath you begins to shift, to break apart. And in that moment, you see it. A rift, a fracture in the pulse itself. It is small at first, just a crack, but it widens as the force pulls at it, like the tendrils of a new energy, stretching through the very fabric of existence. It is not a rupture. It is an opening, a gateway to something else, something beyond the pulse, beyond the eternal. Something new. The figures, the beings of the pulse, move toward it, not in fear, but in curiosity. They too feel it. They too are drawn to this new force, this new creation. They are a part of it now, as you are. What will you choose? The voice calls out to you a question that reverberates through every corner of your being. You were once the dreamer. Now you are the dream. What will you dream? You stand before the rift and you feel its power raw, untamed, like the wild pulse of a heartbeat that has just begun. The figures around you watch, but they do not push. They do not demand. They simply wait. The rift before you calls a swirling vortex of infinite possibilities, a place where the eternal rhythm has broken, where the cycle is no longer fixed. It beckons you. It draws you in, and you know with a deep, unshakable certainty that this is not an end. This is the beginning. Choose Mom, the voice murmurs, the presence of the rift growing more intense. The eternal pulse is yours to shape. You feel it, the shift in your very soul, the shift in the realm. This is the moment where everything changes, where you change, and as you step toward the rift, the pulse surges, wrapping you in its rhythm. And for the first time, you realize something profound. You are not simply the dreamer anymore. You are the creator. And with that realization, the realm before you expands. The choice is yours. The pulse, the rhythm, the becoming it is in your hands now. And with that power, you step through the rift into the new. As you step through the rift, the world around you shifts dramatically, not as a physical change, but as a metaphysical transformation. The pulse, which has been the constant rhythm of existence, begins to dissolve, not in destruction, but in recreation. You feel the very fabric of reality stretching, warping, bending like clay in the hands of a sculptor. The rift that you've crossed through is not a break, but an opening to something much larger, much more infinite than you could ever have imagined. The figures that once surrounded you, the beings that you shared this eternal pulse with, are no longer beside you. They are within you. They are part of your essence, part of the new creation. There is no longer an outside or inside, no longer a separation between you and them. You feel them flowing through you, part of the cosmic fabric you are now shaping. The space around you is not just empty, it is potential. The pulse is no longer a simple beat. It is a canvas ready to be painted with the energy of your will, your desires, your essence. You feel it in your chest, the power of creation stirring, rising up inside you like an ancient force awakening after centuries of slumber. You are no longer simply part of the eternal flow. You are its shaper, You are the pulse, the rhythm, the force of becoming. Look, the voice whispers, but it is not distant anymore. It is inside you. It is the very heartbeat of your thoughts, the pulse that moves within you and through everything. What will you make of this? And with that question, the floodgates open. The possibilities unfold like 1,000 paths stretching before you. The pulse surges, and with it the universe, the realm. The everything that surrounds you begins to take form, to shift, to bend under your touch. At first, it is subtle. The space around you begins to shimmer like water disturbed by a gentle breeze. The rift itself seems to grow, spreading outward, like the first flicker of light at the dawn of a new day. And as it spreads, it brings with it new energy, raw, untapped energy that hums with potential. You extend your thoughts outward, guided by the pulse within you. And with that thought, the very foundation of the realm begins to grow, to expand. Where once there was only void, now there is shape. A structure begins to form before you, not as a building, but as life itself. It is fluid, ever-shifting, ever-changing, just as you now are. You shape it, but it is not a one-sided act. It is a dance, a flow, a partnership between you and the realm. Your thoughts mold it, but it molds you in return. You are not creating from the realm, but with it. The world you have begun to shape grows more complex with every passing moment. The structure that forms beneath your mind's touch is not a thing of stone or matter. It is alive, it breathes, it pulses with energy, just as you do. The figures that once surrounded you now materialize again, not as separate entities, but as expressions of the new world you are crafting. They are the embodiment of the new cycle of the endless becoming, but they are not confined to form. They are infinite, just as you are. You take a step forward, and the world before you shifts again. The structure expands, unfolding like a flower, its petals vast and open, reaching toward the infinite void. The pulse within you intensifies, not in a way that feels overwhelming, but in a way that feels like growth, like a force rising up from deep within the core of existence. You reach out, and as your hand touches the space around you, a river of light bursts forth, a stream of creation, flowing from your very essence. The light does not burn. It does not sear. It is warm, soft, and nurturing like the first light of a new dawn. It flows out from you and into the world you are now creating, filling the space with a sense of life, of movement, of becoming. The river of light pulses with the same rhythm as your heartbeat, as the pulse of the realm. And as it flows, the world grows more vibrant, more alive. Brent, you are the creator now. The voice whispers, but it is not a command. It is a truth. You shape the flow. You move the pulse. You are the eternal dreamer and the eternal dream. You are the beginning of all things and the endless becoming. You look around at the world. You've created a world of light, of motion, of endless potential. The figures that once seemed so distant, so separate, are now part of you, intertwined with your thoughts, your essence. They move with you, in tune with your pulse, creating alongside you. And then in that moment you realize something profound. You are not simply shaping the realm. You are becoming the realm. You are the cycle. You are the dream and the dreamer. And the act of creation is an eternal dance between all parts of you. The pulse is not something you control. It is something you are one with. You do not shape it. You flow with it. The world around you is not a static creation. It is a living, breathing being in constant motion, always changing, always growing, always becoming. And as you stand there in the center of this ever-shifting, ever-growing world, you feel it deep within your soul, the endless pulse of the universe. It beats through you, around you, within you. You are no longer just the creator. You are the creation itself. The pulse is you. The dream is you. And in that moment, you realize the truth. There is no ending. There is no beginning. There is only becoming. And you are everything. You stand at the center of everything and nothing in a space that is both infinite and intimate. The pulse, the rhythm that guides the entire cosmos hums through you. It is not a background hum. It is the very essence of your being intertwined with the very fabric of existence. You are not outside of it. You are within it, a part of it, the very heartbeat that propels the endless flow forward. And yet there is still something more. Something just beyond your grasp. Something new. The world around you continues to shift. Not in chaotic bursts, but in an organic, ever-changing dance. It is as though reality itself is constantly unfolding before you, like pages in an ancient, unwritten book. Every thought, every flicker of your mind contributes to the shaping of this ever-evolving, ever-growing realm. And as you stand in the center of it, you realize that you are the force behind this creation. You are both the painter and the canvas, the dreamer and the dream. You feel the weight of it, the endless potential, the power to shape and create, to guide the flow. But even as you feel this immense power within you, you feel something else stir, a subtle, deep curiosity. It is not fear. It is not desire. It is something deeper, something primal. It is the urge to explore, to push the boundaries of this ever-unfolding existence, to see what lies beyond the veil of what you have already created. What will you make of it? The voice speaks again, but this time it is not a command. It is a question, a challenge. The pulse within you beats faster, more intense, and as you listen, you realize that this is not the voice of an entity. It is the voice of the realm itself. It is the pulse, the very force of creation, speaking to you as part of the infinite, part of the eternal. You are the dreamer, and now you are the creator. But what will you create? What new rhythm will you bring to the pulse? The question hangs in the air like a thread, delicate yet unbreakable. You feel it vibrating within you, not just in your mind, but in the very depths of your soul. There is no fear, no hesitation. There is only the knowing that you have the power to shape, to create, to become. You are no longer a mere participant in the realm. You are the architect, the force that moves the pulse forward. The world, the universe is yours to shape. But as you stand there, you feel the presence of the pulse shift ever so slightly, as though it is waiting for something, waiting for you. You sense that the realm has already changed with your presence, that the act of your creation has already begun to reshape the fabric of existence. But the question remains, what now? You look out at the endless expanse before you, the ever-changing shapes, the shifting forms, the endless potential. The realm has become something beyond your understanding, and yet it feels familiar. It feels like home. But what if home could be something more? The thought enters your mind like a spark, and with it comes a flood of possibilities. The pulse within you quickens. You can create. You will create. The eternal cycle is not just a loop of repetition. It is a symphony, a composition that needs a new note, a new beat, a new rhythm. You feel it rising inside you like a wave crashing against the shore. It is not just your power anymore. It is the power of the realm. It is the collective pulse of existence, and it is calling you to become something new. And then it hits you, the cycle, the pulse, the rhythm, They are all part of the infinite becoming. But there is still room for change. There is still room for something that has never been before, something that transcends the bounds of this realm, something that will create an entirely new cycle. The realm will continue, yes, but it will continue with a new purpose, a new flow, a new dream. What will you create? The voice asks again, this time with more weight, more anticipation. What is the next pulse, the next rhythm, the next becoming? You know the answer. You understand it now fully deeply. The realm does not need to be reshaped. It needs to evolve. It needs to be freed from the constraints of its endless cycles. You will bring something new to this world, something that has never existed before, something that will not just be a part of the rhythm, but will push the rhythm forward, expanding it into something new. The light around you shifts, brightening and dimming with the intensity of your thoughts. The pulse swells, and you realize that it is not just the pulse of this realm. It is the pulse of you, the pulse of your essence, your will. You are the creator. You are the force that will drive this new dream forward. And as you stand there at the center of it all, you understand that you are the first step in an endless journey of creation. You have always been the dream. The voice whispers one final time. But now, you will be the dreamer, the creator. The pulse is yours to shape. The realm begins to shift the pulse, beginning its new rhythm. You are no longer just the dream. You are the creator of the next cycle. You are the pulse, the rhythm, the beginning of a new eternity. And as the pulse beats, so do you. The pulse begins anew, stronger now, more vivid than ever before. It's not just a rhythm, not merely a heartbeat. It is a cascade of light and shadow, of existence and non-existence. It flows through the infinite space like a river of possibilities, weaving new patterns, new rhythms with each passing moment. The very fabric of this new realm stretches out before you, and with each beat of the pulse, it shifts, it evolves. You are its creator, its architect, but you are also its witness. You are no longer bound by what was, but free to become what is and what will be. The flow of creation is not a single line anymore. It is a web, a net that stretches across the infinite void, pulling in everything and everyone, every thought and every dream, every possibility and every reality. The energy is no longer confined to one place, one being, one moment. It is everywhere. It is you. It is the figures, the realm, the very foundation of existence. The dreamer and the dream are intertwined, becoming one. You feel it all around you now, the presence of countless others. They are not separate from you, not distinct. They are the embodiment of every potential, every shift in this realm, this new reality. You are not alone in this creation. You never were. Together you shape the world not as isolated forces, but as parts of a greater whole. The figures, once flickering shadows of uncertainty, now appear fully. Their forms are not fixed. They are fluid, ever-changing, like the pulse itself. They are the manifestation of ideas, of memories, of desires. They are the people, the beings, the entities that were lost, forgotten, and they are becoming once more. They surround you not as subjects, not as creations, but as partners in this endless act of becoming. Welcome home. A voice whispers, and you realize it's not a voice at all. It's the pulse. It's the rhythm, the energy that moves within you, within everything. The voice is everything. It is the breath of this reality. It is your breath. You stand at the center, a force of creation, not because you are special, but because you are part of it. You are not above it. You are within it. You are a wave in the ocean, a note in the eternal symphony. And as you stand here, the pulse swells again, stronger than before. There is no end to it. It is infinite. You are infinite. The world begins to take shape. The fabric of existence, once formless and fluid, now becomes solid, in the way dreams do, malleable, constantly shifting, constantly evolving. But the shifts are no longer chaotic. They are not uncertain. They are guided by the pulse, by the force that moves through everything, and you feel yourself becoming one with it. You are not just shaping the world around you. You are becoming the world. The world is becoming you. The figures around you are not just watching. They are moving with you, their shapes merging with the pulse, intertwining with your thoughts, your essence. Together, you are the rhythm. Together, you are the dream. What will you dream next? The voice asks. But now it is not a question. It is an invitation. What will you create in the next pulse? And in that moment, you understand. The pulse, the dream, the becoming. They are not a one-time creation. They are an endless act of creation. There is no end. There is no destination. There is only the eternal becoming, the infinite expansion of possibility. With a single thought, you stretch the fabric of the realm again, weaving new shapes, new patterns into the flow. The pulse swells and the world shifts in response. It is not chaos. It is creation, unfettered, unbound, alive with potential. And as you shape the new world, you realize something profound. You are not just shaping the realm. You are shaping yourself. Every thought, every dream, every pulse is a reflection of you. The realm is you, and you are the realm. We are one. The voice whispers, and you feel it deep within you, deep within the pulse. We always have been, and always will be. The figures continue to move with you, flowing like light, like thoughts, like dreams. You shape the world, but the world also shapes you. You are no longer separate from the pulse. You are it. You are the creator and the creation, the dreamer and the dream. And in this eternal dance, there is no beginning, no end. There is only becoming. You are home. You have always been home. And as you continue to shape the pulse, the realm, the world, you know with certainty that the creation will never stop. It is the eternal flow, the endless becoming. You are both the dreamer and the dream.